Rolex World of Tennis, Wimbledon, where Rolex is the official timepiece and where Chris Evert has earned her place in history. This three-time Wimbledon champion graces the famed center court with skill and elegance. Like her timepiece, the Rolex Lady Datejust in stainless steel and 18-karat gold.
Hal Davis Jewelers in the Capitol Terrace, downtown Boise.
Ooh, what a cruncher. And look at that quarterback crunch. Here comes another quarterback crunch ice cream from Triangle Young's. Look at this, fans. Nuts and cookies and chocolate and caramel all mixed up in super rich vanilla ice cream. Oh, how could you ever watch a ball game again without a dish or two? You couldn't. So go to the store and get plenty. Quarterback crunch ice cream from Triangle Young's. 100% Idaho.
The Boise Home Remodeling Show, October 13th through the 15th.
Brett Perryman short of the first down at the 20-yard line in the face of the blitz. Darryl Pollard with the tackle. Welcome those of you who are watching the Giant-Philadelphia game, where Philadelphia hands the New York Giants its first defeat of the year and wins its third. We're in New Orleans, where the 49ers and the Saints are scoreless, but now Morton Anderson makes his first appearance of this game to try and break the scoreless tie. Anderson, who has caught abuse from the fans and the media all week because he missed from 36 last year. This will be from 37. He's in a horrific slump, and now they shift, and they're going to fake it. And it's an option play, and there's a fumble, and they ought to put that one back in the book. Boy, was that ugly.
That was nasty.
Oh, was that ugly.
That's George Winslow, the punter. You know, sometimes this deception isn't the best thing to do. It's better off, I thought, in a situation like that, to go ahead and let Morton Anderson make his kick. Let him get his confidence back. But to be deceptive, now you see Winslow comes up. Everyone shifts over. You have to be eligible if it's a pass, so when they go out of position, they can't receive the football. And then simply the right guard pulls left, and the left guard pulls right, and it's a sandwich on their own quarterback.
They tried to get it to Bobby Morse, who had a 39-yard run on a fake punt a week ago. But the 49ers take over on the fake field goal that went awry. Bruce Colley recovered it. Roger Craig. Boy, he's been stymied here early on, Terry.
Well, the thing that's happened with the 49ers, Roger Craig is a weapon. And one thing good defenses are going to do, they're going to do their doggonedest to take away your weapon. Roger Craig's most success last week was outside. The inside running was successful because Rathman was running inside. Rathman and Harry Sidney were inside, and then once they pounded inside the 49ers, then they sent Craig outside with lots of success.
Thus far in the game, Craig was 6 yards on 4 carries. Second down, 10. Blitz threatened by the New Orleans Saints. Now Waymer dances back. He's moved to free safety position this year.
Well, Montana's making the audible.
Quick flip, left side, John Taylor. Flag is also down. Boy Cook with the tackle. So let's check the flag now. The refereeing crew today, the head is Red Cashin.
Excellent job by Montana. Even with the fake by Waymer, Waymer backed off about 10 yards. It still was a safety blitz, and Montana knew that.
Offside New Orleans.
All he's doing is playing with these corners. Little hitches, little hitches. Now they'll throw that safety blitz in there, and Montana will take his receivers and go deep with them. Or quick slants, which is the same thing. Hit them, let them run.
Cashin trying to figure out who it is.
Offside, number 40 on the defense, still second down.
Yeah, that's Robert Massey.
He's the rookie out of North Carolina Central who will be matched up for much of the day with Jerry Rice, and he said it's a challenge he's looked forward to since the day he was drafted.
As a matter of fact, his buddies and his friends and his family have all been calling in and wishing him luck this week. I would kind of be a jinx, wouldn't it? Good luck. It's like you know something bad's going to happen.
Second and 4. No score. 3:15 to go first quarter. Play fake. Montana settles for the short man, Roger Craig. There's the patented high step, and he's tackled, but he does pick up a first down at the 34. Vaughn Johnson made the stop. Go back to the story of Roger Craig. 131 yards against Indianapolis, and then look what happened the last 3 games. He's lost yards on 5 carries. has not gained a yard 8 times, 16 times on carries, only 1 to 3, and only 5 times has he been over 6 yards.
And well, we'll get to some more of that a little bit later. I've got some observations on that as well, Vern.
1st and 10.
There's your slant.
Jerry Rice slips a tackle, slips a second, and it's a 1st down, San Francisco at the New Orleans 45.
Right. Anytime a cornerback presses a wide receiver, you have 3 options. See the press by Torrey Cook, 41. See how close he is? That's called a press. Now, the one thing the Saints cornerback said we will not allow happen this week, we will not allow the wide receivers of the 49ers to get inside. Well, Rice got inside. 3 things that happen when you press. You run quick slants, you run quick takeoffs, and then you run slant and ups.
23-yard gain for Jerry Rice. Had only 2 catches last week in the loss to the Rams. Roger Craig, Guy McIntyre in front. And then Vaughn Johnson makes the tackle. But a picture-perfect shot of the pulling guard, Guy McIntyre.
Really, and that's what I was going to say earlier. I believe that with Guy McIntyre at left guard instead of Jesse Sapulu, I believe the running game of the Saints featuring Craig is better to the outside because of the quickness now of McIntyre at left guard. When Cross was at center and Zapulu was at left guard, I thought the running game for Craig was ideally set to go up the middle because of the power blocking that those guys provided. Now it's a quicker line, more sweeps.
Jim Kelly, by the way, separated his shoulder in that loss to Indianapolis. 2nd down. Roger Craig stumped.
See, when we talked to Guy McIntyre, the left guard, who that time that Craig ran over, when talking to him, the thing that he told us, he says, I prefer pulling. I like to use my speed and get outside and pick up the block, the guy I need to block, and flatten him. You know, he says, I can do the other, but if he had his druthers, he'd rather pull and block to the outside on sweeps.
At 265, you'd think he's huge, but he's really one of the smaller guards in the league. There's Guy McIntyre, nicknamed Angus. 3rd and 3, final 30 seconds of the thus far scoreless 1st quarter. Great fake. Montana, Rathman, Sam Mills, number 51, and a forearm shiver from Rathman delivered to Robert Massey.
Yeah, Rathman's still mad about that fumble last week. He feels bad. He thinks that he cost, and you know, rightfully so, but that he cost the 49ers that game against the Rams. So Rathman's got a little, you know, he's a little hot carrying over from last week. But Mills, man, what a play he made. Great quickness, saw the pass. Rathman had the angle, and Mills got there and made the stop.
Sam Mills, 5'9", 225 pounds. There's Tom Rathman, who a year ago, in touching the ball 306 different times. That's running, receiving, kickoff returns, no fumbles. And yet the big one last week. We've reached the end of the 1st quarter. No score. The 49ers and the Saints. The only threat thus far was an apparent field goal attempt that turned into a fake field goal and a fumble. Morton Anderson was lined up to try a 37-yarder, but the fake field goal didn't work.
You know, last week, these same 49ers who today in this 1st quarter, their time of possession, and I don't exactly know what it is so far, but it's been, I'll guarantee you, they've had 13 minutes of this 1st quarter. But the thing about them, they had the time of possession 2-1 in their favor last week, and yet still lost to the Rams. So time of possession sometimes can be extremely misleading.
I remember a guy who used to say, it's the most overrated statistic in all of football. Welcome those of you who've been watching the Chicago-Tampa Bay football game. Tampa Bay, a big win at home, and the Bears fall from the undefeated ranks, joining the Giants, which means that the Rams, if they win today, will be the only undefeated team in the National Football League. We have the 49ers and the Saints at the end of one, and no score thus far. The only threat so far, a fake field goal attempted by the Saints that went awry. Now we want to welcome those of you who've been watching the Detroit-Minnesota game. The Vikings hang on to hand Detroit its 5th straight loss, 24-17. Minnesota goes to 3-2. Steve Court, Joe Hilgenberg on the Saints sideline. We are about to begin the 2nd quarter of 4th down now for the San Francisco 49ers. And Lonzell Hill has gone back in expectation of a punt from Barry Hilton. Lundquist, Terry Bradshaw here from the Superdome in New Orleans. A game that was originally scheduled for San Francisco but moved because the Giants are into the playoffs and will be at home to the Cubs tonight. Barry Helton will punt on 4th and 3. No score in the game. First play of the second quarter. Excellent punt. Whoa, what a dandy by Helton. Young man from the University of Colorado, whose alma mater is undefeated and ranked 3rd in the country. That's a 33-yard punt and out of bounds at the 4-yard line on the first play of the second quarter.
That's easy. You know, Barry Helton likes to, when he said I kick to the out of bounds, I kick to my left. It's easier because I come across my body with my leg. And also I like to kick it lower because I can control the angle. If I try to kick it high, you never know if the nose is turned over or whether it goes sideways and it'll either float into the end zone or it'll be extremely short.
Helton, who was a high draft choice in 49ers last year and then was cut after he'd gone back. He had such problems in preseason. He went back to talk to his punting guru at Colorado. Cut him, and then after the first game here was re-signed, the season opener. He's running to have problems in that game. Here's the toss to Dalton Hilliard. Dangerously close to getting caught for a safety, and he's down to the 6-yard line. Now let's get an idea of what's going on elsewhere in the league. Let's go back to New York. Here's Brent.
We have a breaking story. CBS Sports has learned today that the head coach of the University of Florida, Galen Hall, will be fired tonight. The university has called a news conference for 6 p.m. Eastern Time to make the official announcement. Sources say that the reasons for the firing include the funneling of money to student athletes. So Galen Hall to be out as head coach at Florida. Right now, let's send you back to Vern and Terry.
All right, Brad, and of course Florida defeated LSU on the final play of the game last night, 16-13. A field goal from 41 yards with a second left. Hilliard near the 7-yard line. Kevin Fagan, number 75, makes the tackle.
Yeah, you're going to run. When you run wide, it's very important that your tight ends and your tackles are able to get outside and block and hook everyone back to the inside if you're going to run wide. And that's what the Saints are trying to establish. But Fagan is doing an outstanding job of knocking these people off. We will not let him get at his legs. And when you do that, you can't hook him. Therefore, you can't run wide.
Prevent defense comes in, the pass defense now for the 49ers. 3rd down and 6. No score in the game. Early in the second quarter. Hebert in the spread. Stunts by the 49er defense. He goes deep for Perryman, the speedster. And Eric Wright is back there with Brett Perryman. So also was Johnny Jackson. Brett Perryman out of the University of Miami, by far the fastest receiver that New Orleans has, and Bobby Hebert comes to the bench.
Well, the Cajun rifle, something that's very seldom seen, is Bobby Hebert really hanging one out 40, 50, even 60 yards in that time. I mean, I've been doing these Saints games for a long time, and that's the first time I've ever seen him just set up and let one fly.
George Winslow will punt it, and John Taylor waits at midfield. So the 49ers, after the excellent Hilton punt, presented us with good field position. Taylor at the 48-yard line goes left and is down at the 41. The tackle made by Dave Waymer, number 44. 40-yard punt, 7 on the return. Michael Carter, Bobby Hebert, Saints, and the 49ers from New Orleans.
From Honda. You have to drive it to believe it.
Ooh, scary.
Tired of wearing the same old face Halloween after Halloween? Why not try a Fright Night nose mask from Bud and Bud Light? There's Batface, Scary Witch, Mr. Pumpkin, and Big Black Cat. Best of all, these amazing masks are available where Bud and Bud Light are sold. So, next time...
They were the biggest men I'd ever seen. They lifted my mama's couch like it was a toy. I ran to my room, but it was gone. But my mama was still there.
If you die, will they have to say goodbye to your house as well? Ask an Allstate agent about mortgage protection and make your family a promise we'll help you keep.
As we drove away, I watched my house get smaller and smaller until it wasn't there anymore.
13:06 to go first half. Scoreless first half thus far. The 49ers with a first down and 10 at the 41-yard line. The only threat of the game came on a New Orleans drive that got them down to the 20-yard line. They settled for a fake field goal attempt. Morten Andersen came on and lined up for a 37-yarder. But then George Winslow shifted under center. They tried an option play to Bobby Morse. Fumble recovered by the 49ers. And the 49ers now have a first down at the Saints' 41-yard line. They have not lost here with Joe Montana as the starting quarterback. He is 6-0 as a starter in the Dome. Montana starts right, goes back left. And Jerry Rice makes the catch for a first down inside the 30 at the 26. Rice, as we said, with only 2 catches last week. And boy, when he goes over 100 yards this year, they have done superbly. They've won all 3 games. He's 2 for 36 in this game. Against Indianapolis, 163 yards. Tampa Bay, 122 yards. And Philadelphia, a big game with 164 yards. Last week, when he was held to only 2 catches, a loss.
Looks like the Tony Dorsett.
That's right. I was just thinking the same thing. There's Craig. Knocked backwards. This New Orleans defense has now gone 29 quarters at home and allowed only 3 touchdowns in the last 29 quarters. Last 7 games in 1 quarter.
You get an idea of what's happening at the line of scrimmage. Notice the Powell in the center, then Craig trying to get over the top. He was able to get over the nose tackle Wilkes, but then inside was Vaughn Johnson and Sam Mills, the 2 inside linebackers, who gave him a little ride.
Mike Wilson comes into the lineup. He is to the right side. Taylor and Rice both left. Now Taylor in motion, Montana back. 4-man rush. Montana, Rathman. And Rathman and Toy Cook collide at the 18-yard line. Rathman, the bigger athlete, and gained a couple of extra yards. There's Toy Cook, who's starting now for the 2nd week in a row. 8th-round draft choice from Stanford, where he was a multi-purpose athlete. He was an All-American baseball player and helped lead Stanford to the World Championship, Collegiate World Series in 1987.
A real problem, excuse me, Vern, a real problem for the Saints. They're not getting any pressure on Montana, yet they're afraid if they send their linebackers or a safety, now they've got to deal with Taylor and Rice on the outside, who can burn anyone. So they're kind of going to catch 22. Do we blitz or do we stay off?
3rd down. Harry Sidney cut backward. He didn't get it. Dave Waymer, number 44, who is coming on the blitz.
Waymer, there's your guess. It's been a guesswork. The play before was zone. Now the man. Good guesswork by the safeties. This is Waymer, a natural cornerback in the center of your screen. Notice he's sneaking up right at the very end, and then he's sitting right there waiting to put the kill on him. But Waymer is a natural cornerback who is very aggressive, who is now the captain of the secondary, playing free safety.
Dave Waymer, who was a teammate of Joe Montana's at Notre Dame, once caught a 64-yard touchdown pass from Montana.
Against Georgia Tech.
Michael Kofer had his streak end at 17 last week, 36 yards, but they've got to fight the clock. They're not going to make it. Delay a game call. That will cost him 5 yards. Morten Andersen, we told you, has had problems kicking the ball here. It's a delay of game call against the 49ers.
Delay by the offense. It's still 4th down.
Andersen has had his problems, but look at this. Opposing kickers have made 14 in a row.
Well, you got no wind.
The last guy to miss was Rich Carlos of Denver last year. This is from 41 yards out, Michael Kofer. Barry Hilton to hold. It's 15 in a row. So the 49ers, who last lost here in 1986, and have won here by 1 and 2 points in the last 2 years, take a 3-point lead early in the second quarter.
Did you know that if you're not using AT&T and your 800 number goes out, it could be down for hours? If it does, to your customers, you're out of business. And all you can do about it is sit around and wait.
Hi, how may I help you?
But if you use AT&T 800 service, you get the AT&T 800 Assurance Policy. If your 800 number is ever down for any reason, only AT&T guarantees to get you back in business within an hour. The choice is yours. Keep your customers coming through on the most reliable network in the world. Or take the chance that someday things might get so quiet. Reliability, another AT&T advantage.
When you have to travel the straight and narrow. Milk it for all it's worth.
'49ers have won their last 5 games on the road. They have a lead here in New Orleans of 3-0 after Michael Kofer's 41-yard field goal, and they will kick off now to Gene Atkins or Paul Frazier. With this road record early on, of course, the 49ers will enjoy November. They are at home every week in November, including a Monday night game against these same Saints. That was scheduled for here November 6th. It'll now be at Candlestick. Short kick. Atkins doesn't get out to the 20-yard line. He's knocked down at the 18. Spencer Tillman, number 23, makes the tackle. Bobby Hebert and the Saints come back on the field. They've got a first down at their own 18. Time has been called.
Glad to be in America, back in the good old USA. I've been missing my baby, the sweet green earth, and a pure simple meal made America's way.
A lean quarter-pounder hot off the grill with crispy golden fries.
America's meat and potatoes.
I'm home.
That's McDonald's.
The shape is distinctively advanced. A cockpit designed for comfortable travel over time and distance. The Honda Prelude SI, a slightly ahead of its time machine.
Today's Duracell battery lasts up to 30% longer than the one from a few years back. Duracell. You can't top the Copperton.
The fiber that's pound for pound 5 times stronger than steel and is used in this bullet-resistant vest makes up the unique belt of Road Handler Treadlock radios. Great low prices, Road Handler tough. That's your money's worth and a whole lot more.
An SEC collision. Tommy Hudson pilots LSU against Reggie Slack and Auburn. Tiger meets Tiger next Saturday on CBS Sports.
9:40 to go. First half of play. 49ers lead the New Orleans Saints before a full house here at the Superdome in New Orleans. Saints came in 1-3. They won their opener against the Cowboys here, 28-0. They made it look easy, but then so has everybody else against the Cowboys so far this year. And then they lost at Green Bay, at Tampa Bay, and lost here at home against the Redskins last week. A heartbreaker, 16-14. Bobby Hebert. Screen pass, left side. Hayward with Brad Edelman out on in front of him, but didn't gain much.
Yeah, screens are designed to slow down a pass rush, and that time The quarterback, Hebert, just had a simple little screen on, and he caught the perfect defense, just a plain old simple zone, and well executed. And just you think against those zones, Vern, you'd be able to get guards out, tackles out, and pull and block people. But big men, when they're pulling, have a harder time blocking little guys downfield. It's just harder to do. Therefore, didn't get as much out of it as they'd like.
Got 4, second down, 6. Sets up to the right side. Stunts again by the 49er defense across the middle. Dalton Hilliard can't get out of the tackle and is dropped by Jim Fonhorst, number 55, at the 28-yard line.
Teams used to take their people and slide their guards to Haley, 94. But one of the big changes in the defensive lineup of the 49ers is 94 Charles Haley is a linebacker. But here of late, last week especially, he played at defensive end position the entire game. He's down as a defensive lineman, which takes off. Now the 49ers are a 4-3 team, not a 3-4 team.
And he doesn't necessarily like playing that down position.
No, he says, I see better standing up. I can see the guards. I can see the quarterback. I don't like being down.
3rd and 2. New Orleans, they trail by 3-0. Lonzel Hill starts in motion, followed by Don Griffin, and Hebert will throw on 3rd down. Got a man across the middle. It's Lonzel Hill. And Mo Hill is out of bounds with the Saint first down at the 41-yard line. Lonzel Hill.
Master of everything. That's what the Mo stands for, but the master of everything shouldn't have stopped then. If you're going to get hit when you stop, Mo, go ahead and get on out of bounds. If you're not going to get any more yardage, you might as well get out of bounds. Excellent protection. We were concerned. I'm not playing. The Saints were concerned whether or not they could hold Carter out, the nose tackle. Well, good job by his guard and center. Crossing routes, hey, let's say it like it is. Crossing routes are the greatest routes in football if you're going to throw it.
That's good for a Saint first down at the 41. 7:54 to go first half. 3-0. San Francisco leads. Obi Turner starts in motion. Craig Hayward gets the handoff. And Michael Carter comes over from behind, number 95, to wrap him up. Michael Carter, who I remember having done this game a year ago, the season opener, just had a huge day against the Saints, and he usually does.
Yeah, well, the thing that makes him so great is the Saints offensive linemen say the guy's got the longest arms you've ever seen. And when we come up with our hands to get them on him, Vern, his arms are so long, we can't get near him. It's, you know, you're swinging at him, and you're like, he's got his arms in your chest, and all you're doing is fanning air. But he's got long arms, he's low to the ground, and extremely strong.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. 42. Split backs. Hebert, Hilliard. Gain of 3 to the 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 6. Jim Fonhorst and Chet Brooks, number 31. Collaborate for the tackle. There's Fonhorst.
Good job that time. Boy, a lot of pressure by Larry Roberts, 91 in the left of your screen, top left. Larry Roberts plays off the ball another yard because he's a natural right-hander and he's playing left defensive end. You're looking at Carter. Good job by the Saints on him. But Roberts, 91, is a guy that deliberately gets off the ball another yard to allow himself to gather up the proper technique to rush the quarterback. He's naturally a right-hander playing out of position.
3rd and 6. Saints are 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions thus far. They lead the league in 3rd down conversion. Better than 50%. That one won't be one of them. It's trapped. Tom Homo, number 46, picked it up. And Hebert is down.
Yeah, Hebert didn't have any time. The reason is that's a deep pass, and deep passes just take longer, and Hebert had to anticipate where his receivers were going before Charles Haley and Larry Roberts got in there. Those two guys put a lot of pressure on Hebert. He just had to get rid of the football.
Charles Haley heads to the bench. George Winslow comes on to punt. If you joined us late, Winslow was on as a holder for Morton Anderson midway through the first quarter, a 37-yard field goal. But they tried a fake. He went up under center to take the snap on the option, and it was fumbled, and the 49ers recovered. The 49ers have a 41-yard field goal. They're only scored thus far in the game. That is not a great punt. John Taylor, I thought he called for a fair catch. The Saints thought he called for a fair catch. Now, finally, a flag comes out.
You know, if you're outside, Vern, and you put your hands up, if you don't go beyond your head, you can use your hand to shield the sun from your eyes.
That don't work here.
But it doesn't work here because we're indoors. There's no sun. Okay, look at Taylor. There's the hand. That's
the way of the game. By the receivers, 5 yards, first down.
Probably what Taylor was saying. He waved it off thinking he didn't have enough time to return the punt. And then the ball came down. He looked downfield and says, oh, my gosh. Hey, I'm going to catch this baby and go with it. Didn't work.
We help more Americans go to college, and we issue more MasterCard and Visa cards than any other company. We also serve millions of customers in every major marketplace worldwide. We're Citicorp and Citibank, America's largest financial services company. Whatever financial success you hope to achieve, whether it's business or personal, we can help you do it, and do it better than anyone else. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
There's a difference when you're flying.
Where are we going today?
I'm going to Grandma's house.
With someone who shows how much they care.
I could go anywhere without you.
A smile, a tone of voice, and the willingness to try. When you love to fly, it shows.
Oh, 5 more minutes. It's their anniversary. Let's call in sick.
Can't.
Oh, 10 years deserves something.
True.
Haven't I made you coffee for 10 years?
Haven't I had to drink it? Now, come on.
Why?
Show your friends this. Happy anniversary.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The Diamond Anniversary Band. This year, tell her you'd marry her all over again.
Okay, I'll show them. Tomorrow.
6:03 to go first half. 49ers lead 3-0 over the New Orleans Saints. The offensive group huddled, looking at pictures.
Yeah, look, this is a little Polaroid thing, or
video imaging.
Video imaging, exactly.
The newest step.
It's sent down where they can, linemen can look at the adjustments, look at the angles, look at the gap techniques that the 49ers are using, and actually make adjustments right there.
Do those help?
I never saw them. We never used them.
Really?
But I would assume they do, or they wouldn't do it. Don't you? Wouldn't you?
I don't know. You're the team that won 4 Super Bowls. Of course, Roger Craig.
Oh, me.
Oh, boy. Gene Atkins.
That play had all the makings of a great play. The wide sweep, which is really, I think, is a play that works well for him. Notice back in down, number 62 pulling out. Bruce Colley. Both guards are pulling wide. Now, all of a sudden, it looks like Craig has a big hole, and then Gene Atkins puts a stop on him.
Montana back, looks for Brent Jones, settles in the flat instead for Tom Rathman. And he's out to the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Pat Swilling, number 56.
One thing Montana is so good at, and I have it as an ex-quarterback, and very, I'm not envious of it. I don't know what I am, but it is so instinctive that he goes 1, 2, 3. It's almost, even in the heat of the battle, when his first and his second guys are covered, Montana just instinctively turns around and throws to the third guy. I've never seen a quarterback in this league do it and do it as well as he does.
3rd and 1. Play fake. Incomplete.
Too cute.
Ricky Jackson was right in Montana's face after the fake toss.
Yeah, you know, this is play action. It's to fool linebackers. Notice Vaughn Johnson takes it. They pull everyone, but then the guy you've got to worry about is Rathman. Now, he is open. It was a bad throw by Montana, but sometimes things are just too cute.
That'll bring on Barry Hilton on 4th down and 1. 4:45 to go first half. A 3-0 score. Hilton's 4th punt. 49ers have a 41-yard field goal from Koper. Lonzel Hill is about to return his 3rd punt of the game. Hilton put one out of bounds at the 3. That's the reason for the disparity in the numbers between the two. And Hill doesn't get much of a return there. As we said, Derek Shepard, who fumbled a punt last week, was waived. 34-yard punt, 1 on the return. Saints get it back with 4:36 to go first half.
When it's the big game, will the Major have to call timeout? Polly! When he gets interference from the Majorettes?
Watching this game is very important to Mac. It makes him happy.
You idiot! Major Dad, Monday.
Did you
The throw. Quick pass for Rice. Got it. Touchdown, 49ers.
It was truly a great honor to be chosen as the most valuable player in Super Bowl 23.
Hey, it's Jerry Rice.
But I have come to know that there are a lot of people who are the most valuable players in their community. Here in San Francisco and in every city in the nation, there's a critical need for professional daycare services. And here at the Holy Family Daycare Center, these kids are getting the love and the care they need. And for all of you who give to the United Way, you are the MVPs, the most valuable people in San Francisco. All right. Out there are the people who give to the United Way because they care. They are the real MVPs. So from this MVP and his family to all of you, I want to say thanks. The United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. The good time, great taste of McDonald's. And by Honda, who invites you to test drive the new Accord. You have to drive it to believe it.
First down 10. New Orleans Saints have the ball at their own 42. 49ers lead it by 3-0. Saints have been a good first half team so far this year. Their horrendous problems, Terry, have come in the second half.
And if you looked at their offense, you would always look at the quarterback and say, obviously, he's not playing well in the second half. But Hebert is tops in the National Football League in passing percentage. He's a 70% passer, averaging about 250 yards a game, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Very, very good quarterbacks.
First down and 10 from the 42. 4:36 to go. Corner blitz threatened now. Or safety blitz it is. Out the middle. Whoa. Greg Hayward almost broke it. Stumbled as he crossed the 45.
But once again, to bring you up to date on the offensive structure of the Saints, is Hebert, even in safety blitzes, he's very limited, Vern, in what he can do. If it's a run, he can only audible to two more runs. If it's a pass, just 2 more. He cannot go through the whole game plan and pick out what would be best against a blitz. So he's restricted, whereas Montana isn't.
Second down and 3. Ball to 49. Toss back to Hebert. Looking deep. They settle for John Tice. Boy, that was real discipline by Bobby Hebert because he wanted to go deep, but the 49ers were not fooled by the play. And Jeff Fuller and Chet Brooks were both deep on Floyd Turner, so they settled short for the tight end.
Notice Hebert turns around, hands off, then the pitch back to Hebert. Tice will come across, but the key outside is Perriman gets inside. He takes these guys out. Big hole right here for the crossing of Tice. Excellent job by Hebert. Play action, there it is. There's a toss back. Now on play action, on gadgets, you always look deep. No one there. Good job by Hebert.
You know the first time I ever saw that play? A Super Bowl. Roger Staubach tossed it back to Preston Pearson against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it went nowhere.
It went nowhere. Actually, it was fumbled.
That's right.
And we recovered.
That's right.
Shame on you guys.
First down and 10. Split backs. Daryl Pollard is out. Eric White has taken his place. Hebert for Eric Martin. And for the second time in the ballgame, a one-handed grab by number 84. Is a gain of 23.
With the motion of the back coming to the outside, 34 Haywood. With the motion of him, it gives Hebert the read that it's man coverage. And on the inside, you see Martin is lined up man-for-man coverage. A very easy read for Hebert, the quarterback. Once again, Donald Griffin has him man-for-man. Good coverage, just a great catch.
Eric Martin made a one-handed grab in the first quarter to set up what became a fake field goal attempt. 2:27 to go in the first half. Hebert back across the middle, incomplete. drop by Hobie Brenner at the 5-yard line.
One thing that Hebert will have to learn in doing 5-step drops, and he's so used to doing the 3-step drops, is that in 5 steps he does take a little longer for the routes to come across. 5-step drops by a quarterback mean that medium routes, you know, the 10 to 15-yard routes are being run. If Hebert just stand in there and hold his patience a little bit, he can go to his second guy on crossing routes who is coming wide open.
Boy, it's a typical Bobby Hebert game. 11 for 15 for very modest yardage, 109. Hayward starts in motion. Second down and 10. Dalton Hilliard to the 9-yard line. And there's an indication of a fumble by the 49ers. Chet Brooks says he has it. Line judge says, no, you don't.
Said he was down.
That's John Alderton, the line judge.
You know, with Ruben Mays being operated on this coming Friday for a right Achilles heel injury, he had the left one operated on. Hilliard now is the featured back, and he's done an excellent job. The Saints would like to feature a solid running game to take pressure off of Hebert, but so far it's been Hebert's passing that's been the offense of the Saints.
Shine a light on you, shine a light on me. Keep your moonlight shining for everyone to see.
Every day, more and more people are getting together over an ice-cold Bud Light.
Well, you can taste it, you can feel it, you know you got it right. 'Cause everything else is just a light. Just keep your Bud Light shining. Just a light. Shine on.
Attention football fans. Get a free NFL warm-up jacket when you buy 10 rolls of pink insulation R19 or higher from, you know who. But hurry, offer ends October 15th.
What's the difference? It takes too long to learn to use a computer.
Wrong. DeskMate makes the difference with graphics that guide you.
Learning new software is like starting over.
Not now. DeskMate uses the same plain English commands with different programs like load a spreadsheet for DeskMate.
A computer? I wouldn't know what to do.
Now you will. DeskMate makes the difference.
DeskMate is simple.
It's PC compatible.
DeskMate is even easier on Tandy computers.
The friendly face in the PC crowd at Radio Shack and participating dealers.
This NFL Team Summary is sponsored by Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
Isn't that unusual? No first downs rushing. We've got only 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Hebert 11 of 15. And the only score thus far, Michael Koper's 41-yard field goal that has put the 49ers up. But New Orleans now, with 2 minutes to go, has a 3rd down and 7. What do you expect from Bobby Hebert here, Terry?
Well, you're looking, obviously you would think pass. I don't know. They did the gadget on the fake field goal, but you would think that it's going to be some type of man coverage, tight coverage, because they have such a short distance, and the crossing routes are just the greatest thing in the world here. So I would think that they would try to throw the ball and use it on crossing routes. That's what I'd do. What do I know, Vern? Well, you like that tie, don't you?
Did you pay for that?
No, actually I didn't. I talked the guy out of this tie in New York. I love this tie.
I bet you didn't have to talk long. 3rd and 7.
Set your own self up, didn't you? Huh? You're real proud of yourself.
2 minutes to go. First down.
All right, crossing routes. What do you say?
Out of the shotgun. Into the end zone, left side. Perryman bumping, flag. 1st and goal.
Interference. Number 29 on the defense. Interference in the end zone. The ball will be placed on the 1-yard line. First down.
Jeff Fuller told Vern and I last night that one thing we will not allow the Saints to do is to throw in cuts, slant routes. When we get in scoring territory, we're going to force them to throw the fade. That's the fade. You saw the left hand of Donald Griffin go on Perryman, and down went the flag.
8 times this year, the Saints have had a 1st and goal. 8 times this year, the Saints have scored a touchdown. And they've got a 1st and goal right now. Hilliard No TD this time. He lost a yard. Chet Brooks, the one-time 11th round draft choice from Texas A&M, made the tackle.
Boy, when you run outside at the goal line, you really are taking a gamble, Vern, because gap defenses are designed down in here to penetrate. They're designed to penetrate. You're taught to penetrate and knock off pulling guards and backs. Look at Fonhorst 55 get inside. Best thing to do here is to go up inside with traps and stay away from the wide. So if you go wide, give an option pass to your quarterback.
Hilliard and Hayward on second and goal from just inside the 3.
Well, looky here.
How about this? Hebert looks for Tice, settles short, touchdown. Hobie Brenner. That's his second touchdown of 1989. Pat yourself on the head.
Well, I'm telling you, Vern, this old dog, I liked it down here, and if I wanted to really hurt someone, I wanted to get outside play action, and I was either going to run it or throw it, and Hebert with a bad right ankle, outstanding job by him.
Morton Anderson to try and make it a 7-3 ball game. Bless you, boys. Take a look at the catch by Hobie Brenner.
Here's the option by Hebert. He has a bad right ankle, so his threat as the runner is really limited. He gets out. He fires it inside. Beautiful job by both these guys. Not much reaction time when you're only 4 yards away.
Much has changed about the game. Today, the best in the business fly. And the airline that takes over 300 college and pro teams to their chosen field is United. Come fly the friendly skies.
What are you doing? Hey, Dave, where'd you get that chin? What's wrong with my chin? Where'd you get that nose? It's Dad's. How do you shave under that thing?
Now there's a razor as unique as the Thomas face. The new Slim Twin razor system. Slim Twin has the slimmest cartridge to shave hard-to-reach places, and a choice of pivot or fixed head shaving.
Dave, I'd give Dad back his nose. What's wrong with my nose?
New Slim Twin reaches every place on every face. From Schick.
My poor brother, Tom. Every time he tried to see what he was missing, he would miss what he was seeing. Then Tom got this amazing Magnavox TV that lets him watch one show while he checks out all the others on this remarkable little window.
Hey, that's a smart window, Dick.
That's what they call it, Tom.
They call it Tom?
No, they call it Smart Window, Tom.
I don't know. I kind of like Tom.
Magnavox. Smart choice. Very smart.
Between these two, every game's a grudge match. Skins, Giants. The rivalry continues next Sunday.
Sellout crowd on hand. The last 2,000 tickets for the game bought by the Saints in order to ensure the sellout, and they have enjoyed it thus far as New Orleans leads 7-3. There's a fake reverse. Terrence Flagler caught and dropped. Brian Ford, number 52, makes the tackle at the 9. And the 49ers get it back, but 91 yards away with 1:07 to go, first half.
Shape our future, we invite you to learn the technology of tomorrow while you serve your country in the Navy of today. What is the taste of dry? It's bold, clean, and less sweet. The
taste of dry is Michelob Dry. Brewed longer, so taste after taste. There's just no aftertaste. Michelob Dry. Bold taste with no aftertaste.
Here I go again. Amazing how many friends I've got since buying my General Motors truck. These new ones can do it all. Last weekend, I hauled bricks for Bill, delivered a couch for Ed, and today I'm helping to launch a career in music for Barney's 6-year-old. The way I look at it, I'm as popular as my GM truck.
This year, as for over 50 years, GM has sold more trucks in the U.S. than any other company.
You are going nowhere.
Will outside interests mark the end of a beautiful friendship for Jake?
I quit.
And the Fat Man, Wednesday.
Bobby Hebert talks it over with Carl Smith, the offensive coordinator. Bobby with a touchdown toss to Hobie Brenner that has given New Orleans a 7-3 lead with 67 seconds to go. He is 12 of 16. Joe Montana, 8 of 12 for 63 yards thus far. Four-man rush into the face of the prevent defense, and Jerry Rice has a first down for the 49ers at the 20. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left. 49ers will not use one here. They'll go with a no-huddle offense. 50 seconds to go. That was Rice's third catch. Goes left side, Roger Craig, and that'll stop the clock with another first down at the 32-yard line. Vaughn Johnson forces Craig out of bounds.
Well, here we go again.
Yep.
Here we go. This is the thing that Montana does, and if you're scouting the 49ers, there are 2 quarters that you fear the most. One of them is the second, and the other is the fourth. And why? Because that's when the 49ers do their most scoring, in the second and in the fourth. And who better to engineer it than Joe Montana? Perhaps in modern day era, the finest quarterback in this position, in this situation as anyone to ever play the game.
Double pass. How about that for a heads-up play? Rathman gets it, and now the 49ers will stop the clock.
What did I tell you earlier? This guy's got a knack for just doing the impossible. There's the 49er timeout. Joe Montana, number 1, was sacked. Everyone was covered. Now, I promise you this, number 16 looked at all 3 receivers that were out on the route, and when the pressure hit him, he instinctively turned around, and he didn't throw the ball. He didn't pass it to Rathman. What did he do? He shuffled it. Amazing.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
I've been working out for quite a few years now. I found it's easier to stay in shape when I do a lot of different things. That way I never get bored. So I never quit.
When you've got your power stroke going, nothing's gonna beat you. Introducing Power Stick Antiperspirant. 24-hour protection in just one wide stroke. New Power Stick from Fabergé.
It's 32 degrees, and Jan Trumpeter is learning all about her antifreeze. The hard way.
Why is this happening to me?
Don't push your luck. Guarantee it with Advanced Formula Prestone.
Saints lead at 7-3 with just over half a minute remaining in the first half. 49ers have a first down at their own 43-yard line. They have 2 timeouts left. Joe Montana, who has been sacked 17 times in the first 3 games this year, has not been sacked in the first half here.
Get pressure, and one of the things that Montana does so well is he avoids it just by playing mental game. He's just extremely smart. He gets rid of the football.
First down and 10. And again, a 4-man rush with stunts. There's a fumble. That is a live ball. Saints have it. Swilling, number 56, got to Joe Montana.
Vern just told you that one of the things that so far Montana had not been sacked. He sets up a short sack, but a beautiful job by 56 Swilling as he comes around Bubba Parrish. You've got a big man in Bubba Parrish who is matched up against a small man in Swilling, but Swilling is one of the best, probably well-kept pass rush secrets in the National Football League.
Pat Swilling gets to Montana. First sack, fumble, first turnover. And the Saints have all three of their timeouts left now with 26 seconds before halftime. First and 10 from the 38-yard line. Four-man front for the 49ers. Eric Martin starts in motion. Hebert goes deep. Hobie Brenner can't get there. And way downfield was Lonzell Hill.
You notice Hebert with those big teeth, he got him knocked out in Tampa, and he's waiting on his new caps to come in, but he fusses and gripes and screams and hollers, and he said it's as much as I am mad at myself. It may appear that I'm yelling at receivers and linemen, but I'm mad at myself. And if when he sees the tapes of this, he'll notice that when he cocked his arm, Perriman 80 was wide open in the end zone.
Martin Anderson wants nothing more than a chance to redeem himself. He has been in agony all week after missing the 36-yarder that could have given the Saints the victory last week. Talked to him before the game, and he said he's never been through anything like the last week here in New Orleans. Here's Hebert across the middle. Lonzell Hill on the crossing pattern down at the 32. Saints call timeout with 14 seconds to go. And Bobby Hebert comes toward the sideline. There's Morton Anderson. Signed a brand new contract last year, and then only 3 for 7 this year. College football coming up next Saturday. Speaking of local teams, the LSU Tigers will take on Auburn next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern time. That LSU bunch is struggling.
Well, they got that Hodson, Tommy Hodson, who is one of the top quarterbacks in the country. Probably the best senior quarterback coming out, and was primed as a Heisman candidate. He didn't want any part of it last year, and certainly this year he won't have to worry about it because he's not having a great year. New receivers and young kids in that offensive line, but the Tigers are struggling. Lost a heartbreaker to Florida, but Reggie Slack and Auburn coming back after a loss to Tennessee a week ago. They won up in Kentucky yesterday, and Auburn awfully tough to beat. Pat Dye down in Auburn, and Tigers versus the Tigers ought to be a dandy.
Bobby Hebert goes back on the field. If the Saints hold this lead, and it appears they will have a lead at halftime for the 3rd time this year. They led the Cowboys and won. They led in Green Bay 24-7 and lost. They were tied with Tampa Bay. They led last week 14-3 and lost. 3rd and 4.
Look for the corner routes. Both these receivers love to run into the post and back to the corner.
4 wide receiver set and a 4-man rush. Down the sideline, a bump, but it's ruled incidental. And Morton Anderson apparently will come on now on 4th down with 9 seconds to go.
Yeah, you don't want to do that in a situation like that. That was zone 2-man. That's a terminology that's real too technical.
Listen to the crowd for Morton Anderson. They threw ice at him last week when he missed the game. He has been in a horrid slump, as we said. In the first 9 games of '88, 18 of 21. In his last 11 games, including the last 4, he is 11 of 22. This will be from 49 yards away. Frustration in that 49-yard field goal, Terry.
He nailed this. He hasn't been kicking poorly. He told us that he's lined up, and he said, I hadn't been paying attention to the hash marks. I've been having to kick from the hashes, and I've just absolutely not paid that much attention to it. But you think kickers aren't exposed to pressure, and when you kick poorly, when you have a chance to win a game, you let everyone down, you feel like you do. Now his teammates are going to come out to congratulate him. He wants no part of it. Look, he's running away from him. Get away from me. Where were you last week when I needed you? Fans are cheering. Fans are going crazy. Yes, Morton, you're our guy. You're our hero. He now knows what it's like. When you win, they love you. When you miss them, they don't like you. Morton Anderson got an education.
It's an old line, but Morton Anderson revived it this week. Somebody asked him if he had thought about suicide. He said, yeah, I did, and I missed with a bullet wide right. That's been used by a lot of comedians, but he really has had a tough week.
He's had a tough week because he's never been through a week, and even his own coach, Jim Mora, told us, he said, I can't believe what's happened to him. He said, I can't believe how they are treating him here. He was actually in shock and surprised himself.
Here's the return by Harry Sidney, and he's out to the 38-yard line. That is the final play of the half. Brent Laird coming up with all scores and highlights, the latest information at halftime. The Saints lead for the 4th time this year at halftime.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the new Schick Slim Twin Razor System. It reaches every place on every face. U.S. Navy, you are tomorrow. You are the Navy. And by General Motors, the mark of excellence.
No place like America. Anywhere, every face tells a different story. But there's a taste we all share. America's meat and potatoes, quarter pounder or McDLT, golden fries made America's way. That's meat and potatoes, McDonald's USA.
Out here, people depend on Craftsman. Craftsman tools are so tough. The hand tools are guaranteed forever, so you can always return them, no matter when or for what. Good thing they hardly ever have to, because the nearest Sears is 2 hours away. By plane. Great low prices every day. Craftsman quality. That's your money's worth, and a whole lot more.
I take care of family.
Vinny goes deeper into the mob.
We're partners, Vinny. You and me, all the way.
Battle lines are drawn.
He wants you to commit murder.
To a point of no return.
Vincenzo sits at the head of the table. I don't trust him, and you shouldn't trust him.
And an undercover mission comes to a head.
It is survival of the fittest. Make no mistake about that.
On Wise Guy.
He was a defense contractor who cheated on the testing of a vital piece of military hardware. Where did we find him? In jail. 60 Minutes, tonight.
Well, on our way to the scores and highlights, there is a shakeup coming tonight in college football. CBS Sports has learned earlier today that the University of Florida is set to fire head football coach Galen Hall. Hall has a career record of 40 wins and 18 losses, is 4-1 this year with a dramatic win over LSU last night. But sources tell us there are charges of illegal payments to student athletes in his program. The university has called a 6 p.m. news conference tonight to announce the firing. Galen Hall out at Florida. Now to our scoreboard, and in the big one, as far as the New Orleans Saints are concerned, I think as everyone's well aware, you can just about kiss their chances goodbye if they don't come through against the San Francisco 49ers. And there is Hobie Brunner with the touchdown pass for the Saints, and it is 10-3 over the Niners. Meanwhile, Atlanta and Los Angeles and the Rams continue, of course, to be a very impressive football team.
Brent, they are red hot right now. Jim Everett is having an all-star season. Here he goes back and hits Pete Holohan for a 13-yard touchdown. And the Falcons answer back with their own hot quarterback, Chris Miller, who goes 9 yards to Sean Collins. But Everett's not finished yet. This time he goes to Bob Del Pino for 7, and he's in for 6.
What a catch by Del Pino. They have just added a 37-yard field goal by Lansford. So that is the updated story from moments ago. 20-7 Rams with the lead there. Phoenix and Washington, the Redskins leading 13-7. The Cardinals moments ago were able to come with a touchdown. Look who is diagramming plays. That's the most anybody ever paid for a play diagrammer, right, Irv?
That's for sure.
On the scramble here is Gary Hogeboom, his replacement, and the pass intercepted by Darrell Green, who was picked off 2, and there was the pass from Hogeboom answering back to J.T. Smith and keeping the Cardinals now in the midst of it. Now in the AFC, Denver over San Diego right now, and it is 6-3 in that game. Seattle is over Kansas City at home, 13-3. And in baseball, Oakland trying to wrap up the American League pennant today. It is 1-0 in the 3rd inning. Yes, Ricky Henderson walked. Yes, he stole another base. And yes, he scored a run on Jose Canseco's single. And we'll continue after these messages from your local stations.
When it's the big game,
we're going to kick back.
Will the major have to call timeout?
Polly!
When he gets interference from the majorettes.
Watching this game is very important to Mac. It makes him happy.
You idiot! Major Dad. Then Walter's beside himself when his imagination becomes an open door on The People Next Door. Right after Major Dad, Monday.
Tuesday. What you're about to see is not a recreation.
Trapped in a deadly high-rise fire. No way down, no way out. Their only hope. Rescue 911.
This is CBS.
It's almost over, but it's not too late. All brand new 89 Lincolns and Mercurys are now priced below factory invoice. $4,000 below factory invoice on some models. Yes, while they last, all new 89 Lincolns and Mercurys are priced below factory invoice.
All remaining 89 simply must be sold.
Please, don't miss your chance to save like never before.
None will be held back.
At Dick Dollar Lincoln Mercury, give us a chance. We will save you money.
Tomorrow, Columbus Day, discover incredible one-day savings from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. at the Bon Marché. Save 30% on the entire stock of cotton flannel sheets. Save 25% on all regular price fine and casual china. Technique's 110-watt stereo system with remote, just $6.99. This Zenith 19-inch remote TV or this RCA VCR, your choice, $279. That's tomorrow only from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. at the Bon Marché.
On the outside, sports reporting seems to be simply a matter of reading scores, telling who won or lost, and showing highlights. And a lot of people can get by with that. But for some, that's not enough. Some people live sports, understanding not only the rules and the plays, but the moves behind the moves. Why a good team is more than just players and coaches, strategies and tactics. Jim Brinson, Eyewitness Sports, because it's not only whether you win or lose, more precisely, it's how you play the game. Eyewitness News, weeknights at 5, 6, and 10.
It was a topsy-turvy day for quarterbacks in the National Football League. Jim Kelly of the Buffalo Bills, separated left shoulder, out 4 weeks. Bubby Brister, injured left knee, sidelined. Vinny Testaverde, bruised right knee. Still too early to tell how seriously he's hurt. And, Irv, we had a couple of unbeaten teams knocked off today. The Giants went down the road to Philadelphia. Your Eagles got them.
Well, the Rock'em Sock'em game, though, was a tough ball game, though, Brent. And Buddy Ryan had to wait until the fourth quarter for his offense to finally bail him out. And Buddy is overseeing everything right now. Said, okay, our defense has done a job, put us in great shape here. And Anthony Tony in the fourth quarter, taking a reverse for the Eagles, goes up the right sideline for a 44-yard gain, setting up a scoring opportunity for the Birds. And Parcells is wondering how his defense is going to stop him. The Eagles line up a few plays later, inside the 2-yard line, handed off to Tony again, a 2-yard touchdown, and they seem to take control of the game. But Brent, Phil Simms tried to bring his ball club back in the fourth quarter and is picked off by William Frizzell, and the Giants suffer their first defeat of the year.
And the Eagles at 3-2, a game behind. And the Chicago Bears lose for the first time. And so Green Bay and Minnesota both moved to within a game. A wild one. Tampa had a lot of Bear fans on hand. Crowd of 72,072, largest crowd ever. They loved the Vinny Testaverde show. Bruce Hill bangs in one of 3 touchdown passes on the day. And Lars Tate ran extremely well from that tailback spot. 16 yards out, he's in for the touchdown. But Vinny Testaverde, hurt very late in the game, limped off, did not appear to be serious. Hopefully it is not. And Tate with the icer. 42 points they got against the Chicago Bears, and that's the most points the Bears have given up since '81. All right, over in the AFC, the Cincinnati Bengals spring to life in the fourth quarter. James Brooks scores 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, and the Steelers are now 1-10 in their last 11 AFC Central Division games. And the Bengals at 4-1, they are tied with Cleveland for the lead in that one going into the day. But then take a look at what happened as the Browns were picked off by the Miami Dolphins, and so the Bengals are all alone. In overtime, Pete Stanovich with a 35-yarder, and the Miami Dolphins beat the Browns in overtime. Meanwhile, Detroit and Minnesota, and the Vikings jumped out ahead and then had to hold off Barry Sanders. Early on, it was a defense for the Vikes, sir.
Well, he really lit up the place, though, Brent. Isaac Holt, number 30 from his left cornerback position here, picks this one off, rambles 90 yards along the left sideline into the end zone for the Vikings. The Viking defense set the tone of this game early.
8 sacks, 3 interceptions. Sanders, as I told you, 23 carries for 99 yards. Dallas and Green Bay, the Cowboys are now 0-5. The Packers drill them to move to within a game. Troy Aikman out with an injury watching, and, well, this was a high spot for the Cowboys. Bad snap to the shotgun, and here comes your man.
Back. Mean Gene, the hitting machine. The middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys scoops this one up, rambles 44 yards for the touchdown, and the Cowboys have their hopes up.
But I'll tell you, this Mikowski has got an arm. Watch him hit Sterling Sharp for the long touchdown pass, 79 yards.
79 yards in the way, Brent. The problem with the Cowboys this year is they don't have good overall team speed. You can see the problem there.
All right, Buffalo, not only did they lose Jim Kelly, but they went into Indianapolis. Eric Dickerson, remember the fellow who wasn't going to start? Kelly was shaken up. Dickerson got a couple of touchdowns. Kelly was drilled after hitting Andre Reed with a 16-yard touchdown pass. And then he was also hit hard on this interception here by Keith Taylor, an 80-yard interception return. That was after Kelly was taken out of the game, and Frank Reich actually made that pass that was intercepted and taken back. 37-14 the final. Houston and New England, and the Oilers are now 2-3, and good luck, Jerry Glanville, next Sunday as you go to play Mike Ditka and the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field. John Stevens banging in for the Patriots. I think the Bears will be ready for the Oilers. All right, and we will continue by sending you back to the stadium in a game you're watching on CBS.
At halftime, the New Orleans Saints lead the 49ers by a count of 10-3. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
You're going to like it here. You got a great team behind you.
You sure can't complain about the money.
You putting that bonus to work?
I don't know.
Call my approved base broker.
Rock solid.
Fastball now on track.
Just like this club. At Prudential Bates, rock solid means an all-star team behind you, armed with the strength and resources to win.
You think you can win 20 in the majors?
Maybe. Maybe 21.
Nice changeup.
Prudential Bates Securities, rock solid, market-wise.
I'm only going to say this once.
Remember when life was simpler? When problems didn't seem to be lurking behind every corner? When everything was as easy as making a long-distance call on AT&T? And whenever you travel, remember that AT&T is the fastest, most reliable long-distance service in the world. Choose anyone but AT&T.
AT&T.
And who knows what you'll get?
Well, it must have been a very big moth.
Introducing Lucozade, natural energy tired bodies crave. With more energy than any leading drink, Lucozade is liquid energy.
When you think of mobile phones, think of Idaho Communications. With over 30 years' experience, Idaho Communications will fit all your mobile phone needs. Why limit yourself only to Ada County when our system gives you the most effective coverage in southern Idaho? Save 60% or more over cellular. Dollar for dollar, Idaho Communications gives you more for your money. When you compare experience, coverage, service, and price, there's only one obvious choice: Idaho Communications.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Coors Light. Pure brewed in the Rockies, the Silver Bullet won't slow you down. It's the right beer now. Today's Duracell, the copper top battery. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Halftime with the New Orleans Saints leading the 49ers by a count of 10-3. The Saints have had the halftime lead in every game but one so far this year, yet they are 1-3. 10-3 the score right now. We thought it might be fun to talk about some techniques that players in the NFL use to learn things like, for example, Terry, how to catch a ball.
Well,
sounds simple enough.
Coming out of college, these stripes, as you notice, I've got them kind of taped on here. Most receivers, practically all of them we've talked to, said college football was easier to catch because they could see the ball coming at them with the stripes, and they could grab the stripes and catch the ball. And another technique a lot of the NFL receivers use, especially the young ones, is they lay in bed at night. Brent Jones I used to do this. Brent Jones of the 49ers does it. John Stallworth used to do it. And tape on the end of the ball, and then they would just sit there and throw the ball up on the ceiling, watch the tape, and then practice catching the football just like this.
Now, what is the value of having the tape on this end like this?
The tape on the end for a quarterback is the spiral. I can see the spiral, number one, and whether it's a tight spiral, the NFL ball can wobble, and you can't see it a lot of times. The tape on it, when you throw it, if it's tight and spinning like a jet engine, then the spin is real smooth. If it wobbles going down through there, you know you didn't throw a good pass. The tape helps you find out whether or not you're snapping the ball right.
How long would you spend laying on your back in bed hitting the ceiling with a football?
My mother's listening in Shreveport. I just want to say that she can test to that because of the ceiling is brown, but countless hundreds of hours. That's no lie.
Joe Montana probably did that when he was a boy as well.
His wife is sitting in California, and she'll probably tell him when she comes home, Joe, you ought to try this. I'm sure she will.
No, she's going to say to him, Joe, congratulations, we've got a son. Joe and Jennifer had their third child just recently, and it's a boy. Joe Montana's had a good first half, 11 of 15, 96 yards. Bobby Hebert has done him a little better in the first half, 13 of 19, 117 yards and a touchdown. And those percentages shouldn't come as any shock to those of you who follow the league, because after last week's game, or coming into today's games, the number 1 and 2 quarterbacks in the league in percentage passing. Bobby Hebert at 71% and Joe Montana at 67%. But Terry, let's talk a little bit about the problems that this man and his teammates have had. They haven't scored a point in the third quarter of any game this year.
Well, and they played, and like you said, they were winning these games at halftime. But what happens so many times is, and the biggest problem is that people are saying they're not making enough adjustments at halftime with their offense. Defenses do adjust at halftime to the things that you did best against them in the first half. So what happens is the offenses have to get to imagining what the defenses are going to do now and say, okay, we did this in the first half, we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to try something else and find out if indeed there have been changes made defensively to stop us.
The New Orleans Saints have never lost 4 games in a row under that man, Jim Mora, who came here in 1986. They did get out to a 1-3 start his first year. That equals their start this season. And then, of course, the big year was 88 rather, when 87, when they went 12-3. But in the second half, all kinds of problems.
You throw out that Cowboy game, and then you look at the rest of it.
They had a 24-7 lead at Green Bay, lost 35-34. They lost 20-10 at Tampa, and last week they lost 16-14. They've not scored in the second half of the last 2 games.
And I don't like to say things like, but I'll say it. And we told more of this. This team very easily could be 4-0 without any question. This is not a bad football team, these New Orleans Saints. Hey, we're talking about a very, very good football team. They just haven't found out how to score in the second half.
Mike Kofer will kick it off. Saints will return it. Touchback. Comes out to the 20. Gene Atkins. Number 28 down to. So Bobby Hebert, 13 of 19 and a touchdown. He has not been sacked yet. Bobby, who lost a tooth and a half in the Tampa game. Interesting, he didn't realize that he had lost it early on, and then after the game was over, he and 2 local writers went out and searched the Tampa Bay surface, the field.
Well, he had been knocked out on the play, and he didn't realize his teeth were actually knocked out until he licked his lips, and at halftime said, my God, I got a gap up there. And he realized he's got some teeth missing.
First and 10, New Orleans. That's Hayward in motion out of the backfield. Handoff, Dalton Hilliard comes to the left. Good job by Romanowski of forcing the play inside, number 53, Bill Romanowski. Ronnie Lott, of course, among those who is not playing today. He's over on the sideline. Second game in as many that he's missed.
He's got a bad leg, bad ankle, I believe it is, and missed the game last week. And Fuller, who is a natural strong safety, has moved over to free safety, taking this man's spot. Actually, there were 3 newcomers in the secondary last week against the Rams for these 49ers, so they're beat up in their secondary.
Jeff Fuller said, I don't gamble quite as much as Ronnie Lott does at that receiving spot. Second down and 11. 10-3, Saints lead. Kobe Brenner, who caught the touchdown pass, starts in motion. Charles Haley coming from the outside, got him.
Maybe that'll change Charles Haley's attitude about playing down linemen. He plays the defensive end. He's out wide. The man responsible for him to block him is the tackle, the left tackle. That's Dombrowski, third-year man and number 1. Now Dombrowski tries to push Haley back by Hebert, but the problem is Hebert is not 5 steps, not 5 yards deep. He's 7 yards deep. Dombrowski didn't know this, and when he pushed him by, he really turned him loose into the quarterback Hebert.
Loss of 9, 3rd and 20. First sack of Hebert thus far today. 4-man line for the 49ers, and they've got an umbrella spread defensively. Hebert settles short. Eric Martin. And he's dropped to 17. Jeff Fuller and Keena Turner, number 58. And that means that the Saints will have to punt. George Winslow comes on. John Taylor goes back to the 45. Winslow's 4th punt of the ball game. Winslow, who replaced Brian Hansen at the beginning of the season, a second-year man.
Yeah, Hansen was cut because Mora didn't like the fact that he couldn't punt under pressure.
Kept saying he was injured, too. Jim said, well, you're not much good to us. What do you expect, injured reserve? There's the catch by Taylor. Flies by Brett Maxey. And excellent return by John Taylor. The 49ers have the first down at the 35-yard line. A 34-yard punt and 14 on the return. So couple the rather anemic offensive assault of the Saints on their first possession. A poor punt by Winslow and a fine return by Taylor. And that makes Joe Montana's eyes light up. 49ers on the road. Fall behind doesn't mean a thing. No problem. They've come from behind for 3 of their last 4 victories, including the most memorable, of course, the Super Bowl win over Cincinnati. We saw them score 28 points in the 4th quarter of Philadelphia 2 weeks ago. 1st and 10. Roger Craig. And as he did last week against the Rams, he starts the second half well. Gene Atkins with the tackle. Craig had been bottled up in the first half. He's now got 28 yards on 9 carries.
Well, Roger Craig stopped taking the offensive lineman out to dinner, or does take them out to dinner, and he ought to take Rathman out, because Rathman that time blocked the stand-up linebacker Jackson and the stand-up defensive end that time Warren for the Saints. Rathman 2 blocks to spring Craig.
2nd and 2. 10-3 ball game. Saints lead. This time Rathman can't get the block, and Craig is jolted short of the first down, I believe, by Sam Mills, number 51.
Yeah, if you can get outside and have a back like Rathman pulling for you, and Bruce Collie did an outstanding job. 69, Bruce Collie is out front leading the way, and he's free to go to the outside. Notice this? But Craig sees it and comes back inside. Rathman does his job. You have to get on the hip of your guard and always stay to the outside of the pulling guard.
49ers have not converted a 3rd down in the ball game. They're 0 for 5. They have a 3rd and 1. Craig.
No.
They're 0 for 6.
This is a bad call, Vern, because it's really a power sweep to the strong side. You turn around and you hand off to the farthest back, going to the farthest hole away from him. Notice how far away from the hole Craig is. It takes too long to get the 1 yard, allows penetration to get in and knock it down and make the tackle of Craig. If you want to get 1 yard, you got to go straight ahead. Don't fool around with fancy stuff like sweeps.
Michael Koper, who kicked for the 49ers for 2 games during the strike replacement games. No good! This one wide left from 44 yards out. So Koper is 1 for 2. And the Saints still lead by 7.
I thought this would be a Halloween like any other. When my secretary, Susie...
15 consecutive field goals against New Orleans until that last kick by the young man who kicked 2 games here, the strike games in '87. First down and 10. Bobby Hebert, the quarterback. They have relied almost solely on the pass thus far in the game, and they've got 3 split wide on first and 10. Eric Martin starts in motion. A quick screen, right side. Dalton Hilliard, who'd been lined up way wide to the right. Jim Fonhorst has to go out and make the tackle.
How about the hands? Dalton Hilliard, coming out of a good program at LSU, running and catching the ball there, shows once again he's a slasher. Reminds me a lot of the way he runs of Earl Campbell, believe it or not. Low to the ground, real pretty striding type guy, a lot of power. But that time on that catch, he displayed some hands, man. Snapped those hands out there and grabbed that football. Looked like a fancy receiver.
First down and 10 at the 41. Here's Dalton Hilliard going right, fumbles, gets a bounce in his favor, and then his somersaulted. That play had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, if you're going to fumble a ball and then you're lucky enough to pick it back up, you've already messed up the timing of the play. So the one thing that really will help you get out of the doghouse is when you know you're not going to get anything out of it, go ahead and leap in the air and get spun around, and everybody will be so caught up in it, they'll say, gee, what a great run for 1 yard.
Charles Haley makes the swipe.
There's the fumble. Now the pickup says, oh, gee, I've already messed this up, so let me just show a little. Look at that.
And Kevin Fagan got under him. It'll be second down and 8. 10-3. Saints lead. 9:53 to go, third quarter. Play fake. Hebert settles short. Finds his tight end again at the 48-yard line. Bill Romanowski makes the tackle, number 53. And that'll bring up a third down. Steve Court comes on the field now as Hilgenberg is limping off. So a center exchange for the Saints. Joel Hilgenberg, who has gone against Michael Carter with a leg injury of some sort, whether ankle, foot, or knee, I'm not sure. But there's Joel Hilgenberg, and Steve Court, who's also got bad wheels, is in the lineup.
Yeah, he's got a bad right knee. It's all puffy and swollen up, and that was one of the reasons for Hilgenberg starting at center.
Third and 3 at the 48-yard line. Split backs behind Bobby Hebert. Now Hayward in motion. Four-man rush, no blitz. Dalton Hilliard, first down at the 37. Michael Walter, number 99, made the tackle.
Every time we have seen the motion on third down by the Saints, it has changed the coverage to man coverage, thus allowing Hebert the opportunity to go to the back. The backs are being singled either by a safety or by a linebacker. Notice in the left of your screen, 55, Fonal, he goes outside. That opens up inside, and there is the completion right in behind Michael Walter. Right in front of him, I should say.
Hebert 17 of 23 for 158 yards. First and 10. Angle route right side. Lonzel Hill. First down at the 19. Beautiful pass.
Well, there's that Cajun rifle. Lonzel Hill said his favorite route to run is the corner. What's a corner? A corner is anything inside and then back at an angle to the corner of the end zone. Notice inside, back to the outside. Beautiful throw. Pollard chasing. Great catch. On his socks, you saw that letters right there. That's Z-E-L-L. That's for his son. His son's name is Lonzel. Look at that. That's his son, Zell. Used to have his dad's number there, 25, J.D. Hill.
First down and 10 after the 19-yard gain. The ball at the 19. Blitz, and Hebert goes deep in the middle for Hilliard. Touchdown! was the first touchdown scored by the Saints in the third quarter in 1989. And twice in this drive, Dalton Hilliard displays a fine ability to make the catch. Morton Anderson for the extra point. It's a 17-3 lead. Buford Jordan, who's inactive, congratulates Dalton Hilliard.
Top left of your screen, Chad Brooks, 31. The strong safety will be blitzing, and then Hebert, sensing this, turns around, and you got a mismatch. You got Michael Walker, 99, covering. Hilliard beats him, touchdown.
15-yard catch of the Bobby Hebert pass. He's being congratulated by Buford Jordan, who sits to his right. That's the 6th consecutive game in which Hilliard has scored a touchdown, extending his own club record. 4 on the ground, 2 in the air. Terrence Flagler has it for the 49ers. And he's out to the 20-yard line. First down 10, San Francisco.
You know, back to that safety blitz. Anytime you blitz a strong safety like that, Vern, with a tight end in the football game, the weak safety has to cheat all the way over to cover the tight end. And so it was a perfect mismatch when the strong safety blitz had freed the back with the linebacker. Ideal call by the Saints coaching staff.
Now Joe Montana comes back on. No touchdown passes last week, but he had a career high against the Eagles, 2 weeks ago. Stan Brock, the veteran right tackle. And this crowd that was so quiet in the first part of the game has been stirred now. 1st and 10. Montana, Jerry Rice. Close for the first down near the 31-yard line. Robert Massey, number 40, doing the coverage on Rice. That's 4 catches for 58 yards. Rams, if they win today, the only undefeated team left in the NFL. Phoenix leading Washington 14-13 at the half. And San Diego over Denver. Huh? 1st and 10, 49ers. They are 3-1. That's the tight end. Brent Jones, number 84. What a likable young man from Santa Clara. Said he grew up in the Bay Area as a Cowboy fan. We asked him who his hero was. He said Dwight Clark. He said, boy, you must have loved the catch then from Montana when they beat the Cowboys. He said, killed me. My whole family was in weeping and mourning.
I bet he hasn't told that to anybody, and now they're all hearing that back out there, and he's going to catch it for being a Cowboy fan. Maybe not this year, though.
That's right. 2nd down, 1. Montana deep, Jerry Rice wide open. Say good night. It's a touchdown. 60 yards. His 54th career touchdown.
It's a simple route, Vern, where Jerry Rice will simply come inside. It's man coverage, and how do they know when to call the perfect play? Outside move, throws Massey, turn Massey to the outside, and the great speed of Rice back to the inside. Nothing fancy. Got his new red shoes on today, and Montana arches another rocket out there, and Rice runs under it. It just happens so often, you just expect it. Sooner or later, you expect this to happen.
Well, they've not lost this year in a game in which he's caught over 100 yards, and he's over 100 yards. 5 catches for 118, and his 54th career touchdown. Michael Gopher's extra point is up and good, and just like that. 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, and it's back to a 7-point game. Montana hits Rice. Jerry Rice at the end of the 60-yard run with a catch. Was he across the plane and still in control of the football? Across the plane of the goal line. There he is. He starts to spike. Whoa!
He's
Whoa!
He's on the 2-yard line, and he fumbled, and he went to spike the ball, and he was on the 2-yard line. That's not a touchdown.
That is no TD. And they showed that simultaneous with us here in the Superdome. The crowd reacted. Gene Atkins. Gopher up on top. I'm trying to remember who it was that spiked it. It was a Pittsburgh player, wasn't it?
Just fixing to tell you.
At the 2-yard line, Dave
Smith on Monday Night Football. I threw him a quick slant. He goes 65 yards. He gets so excited, he spikes it on the 5-yard line. It cost us. Jerry, now Rice is so excited, he's going to spike it. He's got those silly gloves on indoors, and the ball slips out on the 2-yard line. That's not a touchdown. That's a fumble. It's a safety. Should be brought back out on the 20-yard line. Saints ball. Oh, me. Too late.
First down and 10. Well, they'll have fun with that on the replays tonight because it was not reviewed here. I remember watching in my living room when Dave Smith spiked that ball at the 2.
I couldn't believe it. As hard as touchdown passes are to come by for me, and he was running, I was sitting there just wallowing in my tremendous ego of having this touchdown, and all of a sudden the ball comes out and I don't know what's happened, and they spiked it on the 5-yard line, or he went to spike it and it slipped out just like it did in Jerry Rice's hand.
How about this? Marino, 25,000 yards already.
Hey,
already.
I got him by 3, baby. No problem.
Yeah, but you've got 4 more Super Bowls than he does. Second down and 9.
That's the only thing I've got.
Lob pass, Dalton Hilliard looks for some help. And he's brought down to the 42-yard line. Chet Brooks, number 31, makes the tackle. Bobby Hebert, 19 of 25. You know him very well. Is he still fighting the system? Does he still want to go deep?
He wants to go deep, but he's adjusted to the fact that under this system he isn't going to go deep. He's like any other quarterback. He would like to be in more charge of the offense. He would like to go deep, but he is staying within the framework that Carl Smith has designed for him. He's doing a very good job of it, and he's a very unselfish player. And my hat's off to him. Not many guys like him in the National Football League.
3rd and 6. Nickel defense is in. Steve Port snaps it back. Hebert gets man coverage on the right side. The pass incomplete. Darryl Pollard and Bobby Hebert a little upset with himself.
One of the things on a quick takeoff, a quick fade like that, Vern, a quarterback is taught to pick a side. You don't have time to read. Pick a side and stay with it no matter what. That's what Bobby did. He said, I throw it better to the right. I'm going to stay that way. It's just a good throw, just great coverage that time by Pollard.
George Winslow on 4th down. 4:08 to go, 3rd quarter. John Taylor waits back at the 20. Fair catch. At the 17-yard line. 41-yard punt. Joe Montana threw a touchdown pass. Bobby Hebert has one as well. And Ricky Jackson, star of the defense. To 10. 49ers have a first down at their own 17-yard line. Last time they had the ball, Montana hit Jerry Rice for 60 yards in a TD. Rice tried to spike it and didn't have possession as he crossed the goal line, but they let it stand. That pass for Jerry Rice. Gene Atkins, number 28, makes the tackle.
And one of the major changes that the Saints have made is by putting David Waymer at free safety. They got him off of corner, and one of the reasons he was too aggressive at corner, they wanted to let these young kids, Massey and Cook, play, and they thought they could utilize the strengths of Waymer, which are those of a traffic cop. And he said, the thing I do now is I put the players in a position to make the big plays.
2nd down and 4. Draw play. Roger Craig caught short of the first down. Tackle made by Sam Mills, number 51. Craig now with 12 yards, 31 carries. Flag down, and it's against the 49ers.
Holding during the run. Number 62 on the offense. It's still 2nd down.
Guy McIntyre. Interesting the changes that have taken place in this offensive line. Of course, Randy Cross retired at the end of last year. Jesse Sapolo moved over to the center spot. They started with Jeff Riegel at left guard. He was demoted, and Guy McIntyre is now starting there, but he said, I have real empathy for Jeff Riegel because he's got a congenital back problem, and it's caused him a lot of misery. Here's Montana back, gets a little pressure. Safety valve pass to Rathman. And that's good enough for the first down all the way out near the 28-yard line. Sam Mills with the tackle.
Isn't it amazing how well coached these players are for the 49ers? Rathman out of Nebraska, a running back. Craig out of Nebraska, a running back, who have the ability to catch, who have learned how to catch a football and learn how to go straight ahead after they catch it. It really is amazing the job that Holmgren has done with these players in making them not only great blocking backs and running backs, but also great receivers.
Saw Steve Young flashing in the plays to Joe Montana. 1st and 10, 2:15 to go, third quarter. Ricky Jackson unexpectedly back after a fractured cheekbone. Play fake, Montana lobs it left, throws it into the bench area. It'll be second down. Well, the Rams right now the only undefeated team in the NFL. Let's see how they're doing. Here's Brent.
Doing very well until End Zone Jones out of Illinois rammed this Atlanta Falcon touchdown. 23-14 though. The Rams still have a cushion in this one. Now let's go back to Vern.
All right, Brent, 17-10 here as the Saints try to up their record at 2 wins and 3 defeats and hand the 49ers their second consecutive defeat and first on the road this year. 2nd and 10. Fumble. Montana, I think, got it back. It was Jim Wilkes who stripped Montana of the ball, number 94. And the 49ers do retain possession.
Jim Wilkes is an unusual nose tackle in the sense that he is unlike the others in that he will get outside and has ability to run and chase. Most nose tackles stay inside and just stay there and take on 2 blockers. But look at Wilkes, who goes around the right guard and has able to come in behind Montana and with one hand reach out and slap the ball away.
3rd and 15. Four wide receivers for the 49ers. 4-man rush. Montana pumps once, then goes for Rice. Tipped away. Coy Cook. Go. Robert Massey, who was beaten on the touchdown pass, but gets a measure of revenge here.
Well, you got to know, Massey knew that the pass was coming. He said, I've studied film of Rice. When Rice leans forward, I know he's running a pass route. When Rice stands straight up, I know it's a run. That gives me the edge. He keeps his angle. He uses the sideline as an extra defender and then goes up and knocks the ball down. Great job by this young rookie corner.
2nd-round pick out of North Carolina Central. 5th punt for Barry Hilton. Lonzel Hill waits at the 37.
Whoa.
Hill at the 33. Reverse to Floyd Turner. Flag is down. It'll come back. Darryl Pollard makes the tackle. A flag at the 34.
That's good. That's good stuff. I like that. The old reverse. We've seen it so many times this year, Vern, but we've never seen the actual reverse off of it. But that time we did. Illegal use of the hands.
A 50-yard punt. And that wipes out a big gain on the reverse.
Illegal block during the run back. 10 yards, first down and 10.
I knew it was too good to be true. I knew you couldn't do something that fancy, that neat, and not have it work.
So we get one of those ubiquitous illegal blocks. Ubiquitous.
I would like for you to spell that.
U-B-I-Q-U-I-T-O-U-S. Oh, boy, I hope I'm close.
Hey, I don't know if you're right or wrong. As far as I'm concerned, you nailed it.
1st and 10. I don't know if I put enough vowels in there.
1, 2, 3. There he is.
Eric Martin. Incomplete.
That time, Hebert had plenty of time with a 3-step drop And one of the reasons the counter-punching by the guard and the center of the Saints on Michael Carter finally has slowed him down. You know, Carter can only do so much for so long, and now after all the counter-punching has taken place, now Hebert goes back to the 1-2-3 set and has plenty of time to throw the football.
1:05 to go, third quarter. Second down and 10, 17-10. Bobby Hebert, 20 of 28. He's hit Dalton Hilliard and Hobie Brenner for touchdowns. Both teams relying on the pass.
Chet Brooks faking a blitz.
He bounces back out now and follows Craig Hayward. The handoff goes to Hilliard, who's caught behind the line.
That looks like Fagan.
Kevin Fagan.
Yeah, Kevin Fagan got down inside that time. Hard to keep up with the front line of the 49ers. They move him around. Kevin Fagan is the right defensive end that time playing tackle. And so he plays left tackle, right tackle. He plays right defensive end. Haley goes left outside, right inside. They really move these guys around.
On third down and 13, the Saints go with a 4 wide receiver set. Floyd Turner and Brett Perryman are the outside men on either side. Five-man rush. Hebert, right side. Turner stripped to the ball by Darryl Pollard. And that'll bring him on fourth down. There is a young man whose career included being cut 3 different times by the 49ers. And yet he kept coming back, and has stuck with the team and is now a starter. And Tim McKyer, as we told you, was suspended by the ball club before the game today and has been sent back to San Francisco. So Pollard will be apparently playing that left cornerback spot for a long time. John Taylor back. George Binglow's punt. Taylor at the 45. All the way back to the 32. Kim Phillips with the tackle. That's the end of the third quarter. With our score 17-10, we now pause for a word from your local station. With the Saints leading the 49ers 17-10. A team they've not defeated here since 1986. They lost last year 34-33 to San Francisco. 2 years ago, they lost here 24-22, but after that game, won 9 in a row. And here come the 49ers after that 22-yard John Taylor punt return with a first down at the 33-yard line. Roger Craig out of the backfield. Montana goes for Craig. And that's a first down inside the 22-yard line to the 21. Almost exclusive use of the pass today. Both teams just have forgotten about the running game.
Yeah, well, they've forgotten about it, and rightly so, because they haven't been able to do anything. Craig hasn't had the outside of the first game. They haven't been able to run, the 49ers, and with Hilliard being solely used as a running back, the only one carrying the football, he hasn't done much either, but the ball has been moved primarily through the air.
Montana 17 of 23. First and 10. Jerry Rice starts in motion. Play fake. Montana looks for Rice, goes in the end zone. Taylor instead. Touchdown. We're within a point of being tied.
Boy, what a job by Montana. Play action, turns around, looks left, goes back to the right, and when he stayed to the right, the second time he took the free safety out of the play, allowing Taylor to come in behind him. Notice he comes around, holds it long, and by holding it long enough, he allowed the back, the wide receiver to get beyond the back and dropped it in there.
Toy Cook was trying to defend number 41, John Taylor, who had a 70-yard toss and catch against the Eagles 2 weeks ago. And the extra point is good, and just like that, we're tied. The 49ers were 14 down, and they fought back to tie it up at 17. Excellent days. Montana 2 touchdowns, Bobby Hebert 2 touchdowns, and both teams have disdained the rush. We don't have a rushing yard, rushing first down in the ball game yet. 17-17 with 14:50 to go. Terry Bradshaw, Vern Lundquist here, and that last touchdown pass looked a little similar.
Little play action. Montana turned around. When he play action, he brought the safety out of position. The weak safety, who's designed to get back and stop that, Vern, was out of position. Notice the play action. That froze the safety, allowing Taylor enough time to get beyond Von Johnson, 53, and underneath the cornerback, Massey, 40.
John Taylor's touchdown catch, and then the extra point by Kofer, and we're tied at 17 with 14:50 to go.
That looked like the old Cincinnati pass that won the game down there, with Taylor doing the same route, the quick post.
At the 8. Paul Frazier out across the 25. Next Sunday on CBS, we kick it off at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL Today. Regional coverage will then include Washington at New York, the 49ers at Dallas, Green Bay at Minnesota, Detroit at Tampa Bay, and at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, it's Philadelphia at Phoenix. All starts next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern with the NFL Today. By the way, I saw Will McDonough's report at 12:30 today, and he said something about Herschel Walker's availability to a variety of teams, and he mentioned the 49ers. I'll tell you more about that in just a second to see whether they have any interest or not. First down and 10. Lonzel Hill. That's a first down after the 40-yard line. Just to follow up on that story, Will reported that Herschel Walker of the Cowboys and his agents will meet Tuesday and more or less shop around. And he mentioned he might like to play for San Francisco. I asked John McVay if the 49ers had any interest. He said, we have not had any contact with the Cowboys or with Peter Johnson, Herschel's agent. We would never not want to talk about Herschel Walker, obviously, but we're very satisfied with what we've got in Roger Craig et al. So they've not talked yet. First down and 10. Hebert. Again, a fine catch by Dalton Hilliard. And he's out to the 45-yard line. Michael Walter, number 99, makes the tackle.
Well, all the 49ers are doing, and they're dropping their linebackers so deep now, Vern, to prevent the big pass, the 15, 20-yarder. They're now dropping them so deep that Hebert's hitting underneath the linebackers. He's getting the ball to his backs quickly, thus allowing them the opportunity to catch it and then run with the football. Look how deep the linebackers are, 10, 12 yards. So now you throw underneath, you bring Michael Walter up. When he starts clamping the backs tight, then you go in behind him to your wide receivers.
Second down and 5. 17-17 ball game, final quarter. Hebert with a lot of time. Finds his open man. First down, Saints at the 39. Lonzel Hill, who said his father used to throw the ball straight at him and hard to get him to learn to catch with his hands instead of his body.
He said he used to catch a ball in his body, and his daddy said you're never going to be a receiver if you don't learn to catch a ball with your hands. So J.D. Hill used to throw the ball real hard and make Lonzel, 87 here, who goes inside, makes the good catch with his hands, bringing it in. There's that classic case, linebackers up tight, you go in behind them to the wide receivers. This is really an easy game.
That's the 6th catch for Lonzel Hill, a first down at the 39 in a tie ball game. Play fake. Hebert settles short for Hayward. Hayward gets Mike Walter grabbing him around the ankles, and Walter makes the tackle. Michael Walter, who wears number 99, Terry and I were talking with him yesterday, he said, that's a great football number. And he said, yeah, and then when I get knocked on my back, it says 66.
So he has an out. He's got a disguise. Said he has terrible hands, and he said, I don't mind dropping the passes when they're to my side because I'm not supposed to catch those anyway. So he says, it doesn't bother me. Says that he's not a great athlete, and I told him he was because he plays so many different positions as linebacker, outside, inside, deep, short.
Second and 4. Saints and 49ers are tied. Blitz threatened now by the 49ers from the corner. Chet Brooks is coming. And they pick him up, and Hebert goes left side, incomplete for Eric Martin. He had Hill and Martin within 2 feet of each other.
Yeah, see, this is a classic case now. Safety blitz shows Hebert went on a long count, which is perfect because now you can see what the coverage is going to be. He knew it was a safety blitz, but in the scheme of the Saints, I believe, this is my own observation here, in the scheme of the things, there wasn't a dead blame thing Hebert could do. Had I been running the show, I see him coming, I go downtown. I don't worry about, I know it's safety blitz, I'm going downtown with it. I'm going to burn them. If you burn them, they won't do it again.
3rd and 4, 17-17 ball game. Two wide receivers to the left. And again, the blitz threatening. Don Griffin comes across. Hebert into the flat, caught by Hill, his 7th catch. First down at the 22-yard line.
Great job of reading by the quarterback, Hebert. 2 receivers go inside. You always bring 1 receiver outside. If the coverage goes inside, then you throw to the receiver going outside. This is the case Hill. 2 go in. He's out there all by himself, and Tom Holmoe has to come up and make the stop. 2 go in, 1 goes out. Pretty easy.
They have gone to the air in this ball game. Both teams yet to get their first rushing first down. 1st and 10, New Orleans. Ball at the 22. Hebert across the middle. Dalton Hilliard, the umpire, might have inadvertently gotten in the path of the ball.
One of the things that is good about this Saint offense is that the crossing routes by their backs are so short and quick that if the pressure does get to Hebert quick, he has an outlet that is there quick. So it's not like it's not built in to protect Hebert. There are quick, short guys, and then there's medium guys, and then there are deep guys. It's just that their short crossing guys are much shorter than you normally see.
2nd down and 10.
Did that make sense to you?
I understood every bit of it.
I'm glad you did.
I don't have any questions. Right now, 2nd and 10. Stunts. Hebert throws a duck. That one quacked, and it's knocked down.
It was hit, Vern. It was hit.
And so was Bobby Hebert.
Yeah, his hand. Notice he's grabbing his hand.
Let's see if we can figure out who made the contact, either Carter or Haley.
It's a short set. He's hurting. This man is hurting. Haley at the bottom, 94. There's a little 5-step drop, but right inside Michael Carter, who gets his arm, his shoulder, underneath the arm of Hebert, the quarterback. Thank God he didn't catch Hebert on the end of the elbow, because then you've got a shoulder injury and possibly an elbow injury.
3rd and 10. Dave Wilson warms up. John Forcade, the number 2 quarterback, was knocked out a couple of weeks ago in Tampa. Blitz. Hebert has to hurry with the throw for Perryman. Incomplete. We'll see Morton Anderson. And Terry Bradshaw is going nuts here because he saw something.
Well, you see safety blitz. You don't run 10-yard outcuts. Just don't do it. It's not enough.
You mean the receiver?
Exactly. There's not enough time.
And that's what Bobby Hebert is saying right now.
You cannot, at the bottom of your screen, you cannot do this and run a 10-yard up. Look at these people coming. There's no time to run these 10-yard things. You've got to come to the inside. There's no one in here. That's where you run the route. You don't go to the outside.
So that was a receiver's responsibility. 39-yard field goal by Anderson to try and break the tie. He's hit one from 49 today.
He's back. He's back. Commercials next week. He's back.
They love him again. Morton Anderson is 2 for 2 in the Saints lead with 10.5 to go. 5 of 38 for 250 yards and a couple of touchdowns. But angry over the ineffectiveness of his wide receivers in reading the blitz and adjusting. I guess you call that side adjusting?
You do. All receivers are taught to side adjust. Now, I don't know if they teach that here. I don't know what they teach here because I haven't understood a lot of things they've done. But not allowing a quarterback to have complete control of an offense on a football field, to me, is unheard of. I don't know if they side adjust, but it's very common to side adjust safety blitzes. On every play, your key safeties, if they disappear, you side adjust.
Here's Anderson's kickoff, and it's a dandy.
Oh, he's back. I'm telling you, this guy's got 3 or 4 commercials lined up next week.
You know what scares me? Morton Anderson liked your tie before the game. He really liked your tie.
As a matter of fact, he offered me a few bucks for this baby. But I'm going to wear this tie every week now that everyone likes it so well. I'll wear it again. It's got all the colors in it. Look, you can wear it every week. And
yeah, it does have
different pair of slacks. And
28 colors
it's got
in it.
The
You
yellows
got one for
and the blacks
every team.
And the reds. And it's really quite nice tie.
Anderson liked it, but let me tell you, most of the Saints didn't. 1st and 10. and the 49ers. Rice in motion. Rathman. No flags. It looked like a lot of motion around the line. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. Tom Rathman.
Yeah, you think Montana's worried about this?
No.
I'm 41 years old, and I've become the biggest. I have to admit it. I just love this guy. I love it. He's got what it takes that a lot of people wish they had, including myself. But I guarantee you, he is no more upset or worried about this game and what's going on than anyone. It's just amazing.
2nd down and 10. John Taylor starts. Bubba Paris moved. And that'll cost the 49ers 5.
You know what's so hard to do, Vern? It's to go on a long count.
False start. Number 77 on the offense. Still 2nd down.
One of the things that's very difficult to do is we can see what now we've got an injured player.
That's Harris Barton, I believe.
That's
number 79, the right tackle. So if not at all sure what happened. And that was on a play that was snapped, that was stopped before it fully evolved.
Well, it's his knee. It's his left knee. I don't know what happened. We're on artificial surface here.
Right tackle, Harris Barton.
Well, you can look at this is Harris right here. Let me give a big old circle around him. Keep your eye on his left knee, and let's see what happens. You can see the left that Bubba Paris moves. There's the left knee planted. Oh, he gets it caught in behind another player.
Ricky Jackson and Bruce Colley.
Yeah, that's Bruce Colley. Yeah, they get him. You know, Bubba Paris just warming up last week against the Rams at Candlestick slipped on the grass and pulled a groin, and they were worried whether or not Bubba could play in this game. He missed the 2nd half last week, but especially on artificial surface, which is very hard on your groins because you cut so much. And Bubba hasn't missed a play.
Harris Barton, who was moved to left guard for the moment. And then when Paris was hurt last week, Steve Wallace came over to left tackle. And Harris Barton went back to right tackle. And now Harris Barton will be assisted to the 49er bench.
Yeah, when Cross retired, he really messed everything up for these 49ers because Sapolu was having an all-pro season at left guard, and then he had to switch to center. He felt that hurt his chances to establish himself as one of the great guards in the NFL. Now McIntyre moves in, and Briegel comes in. He doesn't do the job. He gets beat badly against the Indianapolis Colts opening game, and so now McIntyre is at left guard and Sapulu's at center, and they've messed with this so much. And then you ask yourself this question, why haven't they been able to run? Well, I'm telling you, there's your answer right there. It just takes a long time to put a line together.
A's still lead Toronto. 7th inning. Steve Wallace comes in at 2nd down and 15. Roger Craig out of the backfield. They find Roger Craig. Robert Massey can't get the tackle. And Craig picks up an extra 2 or 3 yards out to the 22, where it will be 3rd down and 8. Almost no ground game to speak of today. The 49ers, Craig has 31 yards. As a team, the 49ers with 30 total yards. And the Saints have 17. Phoenix leads the Redskins by 8. And San Diego over Denver by 4. Seattle continues to lead Kansas City. 49ers still have not converted a 3rd down play. They're 0 for 7. They've got a 3rd and 8 here. Montana will run. Flag is down. Montana, if the play stands, has a 1st down at the 32. Sam Mills with the tackle. Now let's check the flag.
It was thrown late into the secondary of the Saints. So you got to think they would have been holding on the secondary of the Saints. Normally when the flag comes that late, Vern, you've got to think that the secondary is going to be called for illegal use of hands or holding. There it is.
I rather expect they'll decline the penalty and take the run.
Holding by the defense, 5 yards tacked onto the run, first down.
Tacked onto the run. And that is the first rushing first down today. And guess who gets it? Joe Montana.
Yeah, he's hurting right now. He's over there. He's got his right arm hurt earlier, but this turf is so hard. Now he's going to go down, but he's got the ball in his right hand. And now he goes down, and look at his right elbow as it hits the... Oh, gee. And that hurts, because that stuff's like wire down there. You know, all artificial surfaces are hard as bricks. He goes down, but he lands on his throwing arm, and that's his elbow that he has had a lot of problems with throughout his career.
That means Steve Young warms up. Steve hasn't thrown a pass this year. Montana will try and go. First and 10. Hand off, Roger Craig. Whoa. Craig Warren buries it. Number 73. Let's go back to New York and get an update here once again.
All right, Vern, let's take a look at Earl Farrell. He thunders 44 yards. Now, the Cardinals were down 13-zip in this game, and they lead the Skins at RFK 21-13. Back to Vern and Terry.
Well, that would be a monumental upset if that one stands. 20-17 with 9:08 to go here. Montana, second down and 10. Five-man rush. Sweep, Roger Craig. Guy McIntyre in front. And Roger Craig should have enough for the first down at the 48-yard line.
There's that sweep again, the thing that we said earlier, that the thing that this offensive group, I believe, is geared for is sweeps because of the speed and the agility of the left guards and the center to get out and pull and block. But the thing we haven't seen that the 49ers did last week so well against the Rams was Harry Sidney and Rathman running up the middle.
Well, they went to that Eagle offense, the four wide receiver offense the last couple of weeks. This time they stay with their regular set. And flags are all over the place.
Yeah, that's going to be against the 49ers right guard.
George Seifert, 49 years of age.
False start. Number 74 on the offense. Still first down.
Steve Wallace, who just replaced Harris Barton.
Right in the center of your screen. Watch the little bounce. It's kind of like the old movement that the Cowboys had where they would go up and then down. But the problem was that Wallace had already placed his hands down on the turf, and once you do that, you can't pick them up.
A's lead by 3 in the 7th. First and 15. 49ers trail by 3 in the 4th. Jerry Rice in front of Robert Massey. And that's a first down for the 49ers at the 32-yard line.
Doesn't that just scare you to death? I'm standing up here watching this, and you can see it coming. It all starts with one underneath there. Look at Massey has the outside. He says, no way you're going outside. And then Rice says, fine, I'll go inside. I got to believe that Rice and Montana, when they throw this pass, have an option. If, in fact, the safety bites the slant like that, Rice goes up the field, in and up. I don't think they just naturally run the in cut.
8:15 to go in the ball game. 49ers trail by 3. Montana pumps once. Settles for Taylor deep. Caught. Dropped. But after he crossed the goal line, touchdown. And now for the instant replay review.
And here we go. All you got to do is have possession and have your feet on the ground. There's a flag down. So there's that. There's pushing. Let's see if Taylor has possession. All the ball has to do is be in possession and break the plane of the goal. That's it. That's how simple it is. Notice he lets up a little bit. Then all of a sudden Montana comes back. And now the burst by Taylor. Toy Cook is in pursuit. There's the grab.
Play is ruled as a touchdown.
The ball has to be in control by the receiver, and all it has to do is break the plane. He doesn't have to have his feet down.
Right.
All he has to do is break the plane. Does the ball break the plane? There's the catch. The ball in the judgment of the umpire, the back judge, is that it did break the plane. It looks like it was fumbled on the 1-foot line. That would be a touchdown. That would be a touchdown. You have to understand, folks, you don't have to have your feet down when it's a touchdown. All you have to do is have control and break the plane. The plane is the goal line. It looks like the ball's in his hand, and now it's knocked out.
The foul was illegal contact. Number 40 on the defense. That penalty is declined. The play is ruled as a touchdown based on review by the replay official. The play stands.
So the play does stand. The replay official, as Gaylord Bryan, looked at it and upheld the call. So it's a touchdown. Well, I will say this. I think John Taylor had greater possession of the ball than Jerry Rice did back in the third quarter.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Jerry Rice fumbled that one. I mean, that's...
There's the kick by Kofor.
See, so many people misunderstand what a touchdown is. All it has to do is break the plane. You don't have to be in the end zone. You can stretch a ball out and break the plane. It's a touchdown.
Quarter, Jim Mora's team had a 17-3 lead. But Joe Montana has struck for 3 touchdowns. 1 to Jerry Rice, 2 to John Taylor. And 1 to Jerry Rice, 2 to John Taylor. And Montana, whose elbow is encased in ice now, has thrown for 3 touchdown passes.
He'll have one of those big old bubbles on his elbow. Montana told us in Philadelphia he's enjoying playing more now than ever because he's 33, soon to be 34, got 3 little babies at home, and he realizes that he's at the end of his career, whenever that is.
Here's the kickoff bobbled and picked up at the 10. Gene Atkins back of the 22. Let's bring you up to date on how the scoring has evolved here before this sellout crowd in the Superdome. In the first quarter, Michael Kofor hit from 41, made it a 3-0 game. In the second quarter, Hobie Brenner's 2-yard catch made it a 7-3 Saint lead. Then Morton Anderson, just before halftime, hit from 49 to make it 10-3. Dalton Hilliard caught a 19-yard pass to give the Saints their 17-3 lead, and here came the Montana Express. First, Jerry Rice from 60 yards out. Then John Taylor from 21. And then just a moment ago, after Morton Anderson's 39-yard field goal had given the Saints a 20-17 lead, John Taylor's second catch put the 49ers on top, 24-20, their first lead since they were up 3-0. First and 10, Bobby Hebert, play fake. Finds Eric Martin. That's a gain out to the 35 and a first down.
Oh, how smart was Hebert. How smart was Hebert that time. He picked up the strong safety, or the weak safety, Fuller, cheating over to the right, set up short, let Fuller commit, and when Fuller went outside, Hebert held the ball and went back inside to Martin. Great job by Bobby Hebert.
7.5 to go in the ball game. Ricky Jackson.
Some of the best quarterbacking that I've ever seen by both teams, really, by both teams. Both these guys have done an excellent job.
Very intelligent quarterbacking. First and 10, 7:18 to go. Oh, boy. Nice job by Hebert to get away from the rush. Now he lobs it deep. Eric Martin had come in and out of bounds and back in play, and the pass was incomplete nevertheless, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
I don't think that was the design.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination. Hebert, you have to understand, was an outstanding runner when he went to Northwestern University, State University up here in Natchitoches, but he's got a little smarter. Plus, he's injured. He's got a bad right ankle. The pressure that time forced him out. I don't think you'll see Hebert in this situation moving with a rolling pocket.
2nd and 10. Saints had a 17-3 lead that has disappeared in the face of the Montana Army. There's Hayward. If the play stands, it's a Saint first down. Now, was he drawn offside? Looks like the 49ers might have just come offside, in which case New Orleans would decline it.
Yeah, so you get a pick on someone's cadence, and what the Saints do is they don't use a color count. They use a set count, like set.
Offside. Number 75 on the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
See, Hebert will go up to the line of scrimmage, Vern, and go set, set, hut, 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 hut. Then other times he'll go set, set. White, 75. And when he threw in the color count, notice Fagan jumped off sides.
So Hayward on the draw play picks up a first down at the 49-yard line. There is Kevin Fagan. 24-20, New Orleans trails by 4. 6:44 to go in the ball game. Lonzel Hill starts in motion. Tom Holmoe as a defensive back adjust. That's a gain for a couple. Lonzel Hill in front of Chet Brooks and Keena Turner, number 58. 6:25 to go in the ball game.
One thing defensive backs like about a short dropping quarterback like Hebert, and Fuller told us this, he said, when you play against a quarterback like Hebert, you like it because you don't have to run as far.
That's right.
Because you can't hold the ball and throw it deep. You throw everything quick. Defensive backs don't have to run as far, so naturally you're not as tired.
2nd down and 7. 6 minutes to go in the ball game. Brooks again threatens the blitz, and he backs out. Hebert gets a good block, lobs it once or fakes it, and then runs out of bounds into the New Orleans bench at the 43-yard line. And John Tyson, Chet Brooks exchange words. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3. The Saints are 4 of 13 on 3rd down conversions.
You know,
John Tyson.
When Hebert scrambled that time, he looked upfield, but the worst thing happened to Hebert. The receiver that was downfield was a running back, Craig Hayward. Craig Hayward doesn't understand that when a quarterback scrambles, you go to the goal line. He just stood there. Had it been a wide receiver, the wide receiver would have turned and run to the open area, giving Hebert a target.
3rd and 2. 5:48 to go. That's Martin in motion, followed by Don Griffin. Hebert deep left side. Too long. Eric Martin, the intended receiver.
You got to go for it here. It's 5 minutes and 43 seconds. I would think you would go for it because Montana's offense has the ability to kill the clock. Not running necessarily, but throwing the football and still running out the clock. So I would think the Saints would try it. They're not, are they?
No, they're not. Unless they try a fake punt, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Well,
given now Hebert and Lonzel Hill are going at each other again.
Well, remember last week, Bobby Morris, 35, took a direct snap from the center and ran 39 yards.
4th and 2. It's back to Winslow. Fair catch called by Taylor. Takes it at the 11-yard line. Bobby Hebert and Carl Smith, his offensive coordinator, having a couple of words. 5:36 to go in the ball game. There's Carl Smith. 1st down and 10. And Hebert with a bemused look on his face. Saints take over. Or rather, the 49ers.
What's happened is Lonzel Hill, he is really upset. He's mad at Hebert because Hebert's pointing a finger at Lonzel saying, I didn't run the wrong route. Or he's saying, I was wide open. Why didn't you get the ball to me sooner?
1st down and 10. Roger Craig to the 13.
Yeah, I think that's a bad decision. I think that running is a bad decision. They haven't been able to run on these Saints all day. And as accurate as Montana is, and they use their running backs when they throw wide flares as their running game, I would think that it would be better for the 49ers to go ahead and throw the football.
Bubba Paris is the injured player now. They've already lost Harris Barton to a knee injury. And Bobby Hebert is still... Now, he will jaw as much as any quarterback I know. He talks a lot.
He jaws, but primarily he jaws at himself. He says, I don't want to get out there and be pointing fingers and screaming and hollering at these guys because a lot of times I screw up myself.
Well,
he threw it outside, and this is that, you know, all that mess.
2nd down and 7. 5:02 to go in the game. Roger Craig wrapped up. They try the ground game again, Terry.
Just not working. Hey, I'm not down on running games. I believe in them. I ran nothing but a trapping game, but if it's not working, you know, why fool with it?
Giants lose their first. Cincinnati wins over Pittsburgh for the 2nd time. Bubba Paris hurries back in. Good news for the 49ers. 3rd down and 6. And a huge play here late in the game with 4:30 to go. 3rd and 6. The 49ers lead by 4. Split backs. Craig out of the backfield. See if he runs a crossing route. The rush from the back. Incomplete pass. Pat Swilling, number 56, for the 2nd time today.
You knew it had to come from the backside to the left of your screen. Bubba Paris has left the game and come back in. He was injured, so you got to figure that Swilling, a much quicker linebacker than Paris as a tackle, comes in, beats Paris, makes the sack of Montana.
Barry Helton back at the goal line. Take a look at it again. Here's the kick. Not a particularly good one, but it gets a 49er roll and scoots out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
Hey, I want to go back and clean that up. Bubba Paris, I tell you, they put Brent Jones over on the side with Bubba Paris to help out on Swilling, and Swilling still beat Paris and the tight end. So they had two guys on him. He beat both of them.
24-20, 4:10 to go. Now we'll see if Lonzell Hill and Bobby Hebert are speaking with each other as they head into the huddle.
Hey, might be good, huh? I'm mad at you.
I'll show you.
I'll show you.
You show me. Here's Lonzell Hill, who's coming out on this first down play.
I know I wouldn't want my receivers mad at me. I would want Stallworth and Swan to be very happy with Terry Bradshaw, because I know they'll work awfully hard for me if they're happy with me.
Dalton Hilliard is split wide to the right side. Hayward, the only running back. From the 39, 4:10 to go in the ballgame. Floyd Turner starts in motion. Stunts by the 49ers. Hebert to Hilliard. And again, a fine catch. First down at the San Francisco 49-yard line. Boy, has he made some fine grabs today.
You know, we are seeing this more and more, backs that can catch the football, but we're not seeing backs that get out at a wide receiver position and run the in routes. The most courageous route to run is the in route, and you're asking a back to do it, and this Hilliard guy is doing it exceptionally well.
Floyd Turner, wide right. 24-20. Hayward, the motion man. Hebert has a man open. Eric Martin at the 31. First down, New Orleans. And Lonzell Hill, see if he's back in there. Eric Martin with the catch.
Martin going in motion wide. Coming inside. And then Hebert getting the ball to him. Beautiful job by Bobby Hebert. Only a 5-step drop in all that time.
First down at the 31, 24-20 the score, 2:50 to go in the game. Across the middle, Floyd Turner, number 88, the rookie out of Northwest Louisiana. First down, New Orleans at the 20-yard line.
Nothing but short routes. We said at the beginning of the game the Saints would go to 5-step drops to allow Hebert time to throw the football. He's done it all day long, and every route they're throwing is an inside route. Not one of these passes is going to the outside.
Floyd Turner, who caught 8 coming in, makes that catch. First down at the 20. Lonzell Hill back in. Craig Hayward is lined up way out to the right side.
Do you gamble? Do you blitz?
5-man rush. Hebert has it knocked in the air. Caught at the 23. And down at the 18-yard line. A diving grab again by Dalton Hilliard.
What do you do here if you're the 49ers? Do you gamble? Do you blitz and give the middle of the field wide open? Or do you stay with tight coverage and only rush 4? They're only rushing 4. That time Carter, 95, got inside and got his hands up to tip the ball.
2-minute warning. 24-20 is the score. Now on the sideline, his right elbow encased in ice, and Steve Young was warming up. Both of them watching now as the New Orleans Saints have a second down and 9 with 1:58 to go. Bobby Hebert, his first 300-yard game as a quarterback in the NFL. He's thrown for 311 thus far on 31 of 46. It's second down and 9. See if the 49ers might be coming. They're not. Now they're going to send one. Flags are down. Hebert into the flat. Hayward misses it. Right through. They're going to rename him Iron Hands.
I believe this is going to be offsides of 49ers. Once again, the cadence, I believe, got the 49ers. George Seifert, he's okay. That looks like the declining must be against the Saints.
Illegal motion, left guard. Still second down.
Well, actually, they should have taken the play, and taken the play would have been third down. See, you take the play because Ironhead dropped the ball,
right?
And so it's third down.
3rd and 9.
So you don't. It's not second down. You don't take the penalty here.
Well, they're still discussing it. I would.
Well, that's what they're discussing. I got to believe. There they go, moving it back.
Yeah, it was declined, and it'll be 3rd down and 9. That's what happened. So the penalty declined by the 49ers. 3rd and 9. Bobby Hebert looks to the bench. He's got Lonzel Hill in the ball game now.
Vern, one of the things the 49ers are doing, which is unusual, is that they're not playing man coverage here. They're playing zone. I'm going to watch them. I want to see what they're doing. But right now, the last 2 times have been zone.
Eric Martin to the left, Hill to the right. 3rd and 9.
This is man coverage.
They fake the blitz. Hebert back. Dances left. Has to let it go. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down. And it was Keena Turner, number 58, who was right in Bobby Hebert's face. 4th and 9.
Doubled that time. The most dangerous receiver, Martin, gave a look of zone and then turned the corner out and ran underneath Martin and took the other safety and went over top and went what they call long and short. I got him underneath. I have another man on top. So they doubled what they considered the most dangerous receiver and were very effective. Now I'd have to think they'll do it again.
Hilliard comes out. Perryman and Turner are in. It's Perryman and Hill to the left side. Martin and Turner to the right side. Hayward back to block. And Bobby Hebert out of the shotgun. 4-man rush into the end zone. Perryman incomplete. Tipped away. Eric Wright, number 21.
Eric Wright, who has had for the last 2 years, 2.5 years, a bad groin. A bad groin coming in on turf, which is the worst place to play with a bad groin. At the very last, gets his right hand over the top of Perryman and knocks the ball away. Just a great play by Eric Wright.
Now one of the veterans of this 49er team, one of those who has won 3 Super Bowls in the 80s. Bobby Hebert on 4th and 9 had it tipped away. First down and 10. 1:44 to go. Steve Young replaces Joe Montana. The Saints do have all 3 of their timeouts left, and they use one of them right now. We're here at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans, where our score is San Francisco 24 and the New Orleans Saints 20. We'd like to remind our audience that 60 Minutes will air in its entirety immediately following the game, except on the West Coast. 60 Minutes coming up. War trailed 17-3 to Bobby Hebert and the New Orleans Saints. And then Joe Montana hit Jerry Rice and John Taylor with 2. And Brett Perryman, who was in the end zone, wants one more chance. Other scores in the NFL. Philadelphia wins. Cincinnati wins. Miami went to overtime before shocking Cleveland. Tampa Bay handed the Bears their first defeat this afternoon.
There's a shock right there.
Absolutely. It's 2nd down and 10 officially. Backs in the eye. 1:39 remaining. Hand off Craig. Comes left. That's a huge play for the 49ers. All the way out to the 44-yard line. Sam Mills makes the tackle. A 25-yard gain for Roger Craig, who had been bottled up much of the day. And the Saints used their second timeout. They've got one left. In the second half, and he came back with 3 touchdown passes to give the 49ers a 4-point edge with 1:21 to go, and the Saints can stop it one more time, which they do right now. That's the final timeout for the New Orleans Saints. Tonight on CBS, he was a defense contractor who cheated on the testing of a vital piece of military hardware. Where did we find him? In jail. Watch 60 Minutes. Then it's Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury, followed by the CBS Sunday night movie Mystic Pizza, starring William Moses and Julie Roberts. That's all tonight on CBS. 1:16 remaining. Joe Montana, 3 touchdown passes in the second half of this game. And the Saints are out of timeouts. 49ers still have all 3. I know there are a lot of important things going on this weekend, but just a personal note. Up in Omaha, Nebraska this weekend, my mother and dad celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. And I just want to tell them I love them and how neat that was to be there for a short time.
Congratulations.
Reverend and Mrs. Lundquist, 50 years.
Ma and Pa Vern Lundquist.
Ma and Pa.
That's right.
24-20, 1:16 to go. Second down and 11. Morton Anderson has hit 2 of 2 today, but a field goal academic for the Saints now. They trail by 4. And Eric Wright, what a huge play he made in the end zone on 4th and 9.
That'll do it right there. On the happy notes, I have good news also. My mom and dad celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary in Shreveport, Louisiana.
70?
Absolutely. I want to say congratulations to Novice and Bill Bradshaw. 70 beautiful years together. I know they're watching, or someone will pass that on to them. They're in the home up there, you know.
They got married at 1, huh?
Yeah. 70 years married. That's amazing. I know they've got to be happy.
Sometimes I don't know where you're going or where you've come from.
Well, I didn't know where you were going.
35 seconds to go.
I know where these Saints are going. They're going to 1-4, and I love this statement. The best 1-4 football team in the National Football League. But definitely things are getting better. They did score in the second half. They did put 20 points on the board. They lost, but they lost to the world champions.
Run through the other scores. Cincinnati wins it. Miami won today. Tampa Bay a big win. Minnesota keeps Detroit winless. Green Bay defeated Dallas. Indianapolis over Buffalo. New England defeated Houston by 10. And here the 49ers defeated the New Orleans Saints with 3 touchdown passes in the second half from Joe Montana. 1 to Jerry Rice, 2 to John Taylor. We'll be right back.